From One Hub Stadium in Brisbane, welcome back to Bandits.tv. Tonight, the Round 4 finale and Game 2 of today's doubleheader between the Auckland Tuatara and the Brisbane Bandits. Auckland has taken the last 2 games of this series, and the Bandits are in an unfamiliar position trying to salvage a split. With Australian silver medalist Paul Gonzalez, I'm Eric Bramer. Thanks for joining us. The Bandits did not play a very tight ball game in Game 1, committing 4 errors, and of the 6 runs that they allowed, 5 of them were unearned. That needs to change.
It does, and I tell you what, you can't concede against good ball clubs. This is a good ball club. Cole Minter threw a brilliant game. We can't take any credit away from him. But Tuatara executed when they needed to, and they capitalized on the mistakes.
The Bandits will send their stopper to the mound. There's nobody better to go to in need of a win than Tim Atherton. Last time he was on this mound, he established a new career high with 14 strikeouts in a 7-inning complete game. He's the 2-time defending ABL Championship Series MVP. He's everything that you are looking for. You get length out of him, and you get some dominant stuff.
You do, and the biggest thing is you get heart. He's probably the heart and soul of that pitching staff. And in normal rotations, he'd be your number 1. For David to be able to go to him in Game 4, that to me, that plays to the advantage of the Bandits.
Jimmy Boyce gets the start for the Tuatara, who with a win tonight will not only take this series, but they will also pull into a tie for second place with the Bandits in the Northeast Division. Bandits are 7-8, and the Tuatara are 6-9. Looks like we're just a couple minutes behind schedule, but it should be a good crowd on hand for the finale of Round 4. Bandits are on the road next weekend for Round 5 against the Cavalry in Canberra. Bandits had won their first 5 games here at home before dropping last night's game in heartbreaking fashion, and once again having an opportunity to rally back late this afternoon before falling short. The Bandits got a couple runs on home runs. They also scratched together some late hits, but they were put in a position by their defense where they were playing from behind, and that is not where this team wants to be.
No, you can't. And we talk about, even though this is an offensive-friendly ballpark, you can't concede and give extra outs. Today, Blackley didn't throw bad. He actually threw the ball really well, but just had to work a little bit harder today than Cole Minter.
Let's take a look at the Tuatara lineup. They're managed by Steve Mintz, and a very familiar look. The Tuatara aren't making any changes or too many changes based on what has worked the last couple games. Yanni Hernandez leads off at shortstop, followed by Kent Blackstone, who bats second and plays second. Batting third and playing third is Josh Morgan. The cleanup hitter and first baseman is Jared Walker. Batting fifth in left field, Kim Won-seok. Batting sixth, the catcher, Johnny Homza. Batting seventh in right field, Andrew Mark. And batting eighth, the designated hitter, Buzz Noe, before Max Brown rounds it out, batting ninth in center field. Tim Atherton on the year, 1 win, no losses, an ERA of 3.93. He throws a fastball, cutter, slider, and a curve. The thing to know about Tim Atherton is that he is not afraid, even in this hitter-friendly ballpark, to work up in the zone.
No, that's what makes actually effective. He's probably a low 90 type guy, 91 and top out about 93, 94. Does throw the elevated fastball.
Here's a look at the Bandits' defense. Campbell, Colwell, and Taylor in the outfield. Sutherland at first. Nielsen and Wade up the middle, and Dutton at the hot corner. Ryan Battaglia gets the start behind home plate after Jeremy Martinez caught Game 1.
And going back to Atherton in the book on him, what makes him so effective? 1, he's not afraid to challenge you. And 2, he will throw, if he gets command of his secondary pitch, which is his breaking ball, becomes extremely effective for the Bandits. What they need is a quality start out of him, and offensively, they just need to make sure they do the right thing with the bats.
Travis Blackley, the Game 1 starter, went 5+ innings. They did have to go into their bullpen for the final 2 frames, but Justin Erasmus and Ken Frost tag teamed to get the job done. As bullpens go at the end of a series and at the end of a doubleheader, both teams should feel pretty good about the options available to them when it comes to the final innings tonight.
Well, I agree. Both rotations have done extremely good job. They've pitched deep into the ball game. The economies as far as the pitch counts for the bullpen have been limited. They haven't had extensive blowouts, and so I think we'll have this is a big matchup, and Tuatara will want every intent to try to take this series.
Sun setting down the right field line. First pitch temperature around 28 degrees Celsius, with wind as usual blowing out briskly to right field. Home plate umpire is Paul Latta. The crew chief is at first base, Tom West, and Toby Pinder is at third base on the umpiring crew. Yanni Hernandez leads things off. Switch hitting shortstop will bat lefty. In game 1 of the doubleheader, he was 0 for 3, reaching on an error, drawing a walk, and also bringing home a run with a groundout. Atherton from the wind. First pitch up and away at 6:07 local time. Crowd continuing to file in. Strike on a check swing, and the count evens 1-1. 2 weeks ago for the doubleheader against Geelong Korea, we saw a sellout, and I think we are headed near that goal, if not having met it already here tonight. Hernandez, inside-out swing, sends it into shallow left, and it's down for a base hit. That was one thing that the Tuatara were able to do with greater effectiveness in game 1. Even when they weren't making solid contact, they were getting enough on the ball to drop in some base hits.
Yeah, it's a good job of hitting right there. He got a tough pitch on the hands and just stayed through the baseball, able to just get over Logan Wade in his attempt. But what that does now puts a lot of pressure on Atherton, because he does run well, and puts a little bit of pressure on the Bandits defense.
Kent Blackstone bats second and plays second. One of 2 true left-handed hitters in this lineup. First pitch, a strike. Brisbane going with their yellow alternate jerseys with Brisbane in block lettering across the front. Sharp look as usual, and an Auckland Tuatara going from their dark navy blue to more of a teal blue in this doubleheader. Down and in, 1-1. Called strike, and it's 1-2.
It's going to get a quick time on Atherton going home. So normally when a guy is probably 1-4, 1-5 or above, they'll be aggressive, particularly with Hernandez at first. He's an aggressive base runner, and see if he, usually with power pitchers, they're a little bit slower home just because they generate more.
There he goes, and the pitch is lifted foul.
So once again, we talked about potentially taking off, which he did. Atherton was sitting about 1-2-5, 1-3, which gives Battaglia enough time to throw him out.
Hernandez 1 for 1 in stolen bases this year. Popped up, foul, and out of play. I should elaborate further on Hernandez. He's actually 1 for 2 because in game 1 he was picked off and then took off for second. That still counts as a caught stealing, even though it wasn't the catcher.
That's right.
Pick off throw to first. Atherton is the definition of a big game pitcher. Defeated the United States in the Premier 12 just before the season started, representing Team Australia.
He's not shy of the big stage. I got a chance to see him in 17 in Japan at the Tokyo Dome pitch against Team Japan, and he's pretty much lights out for about 5 against a very, very tough lineup. So he does like the big stage.
This is his 3rd season with the Bandits. Runner goes. Blackstone chops it foul off the top of the Bandits dugout.
So interesting right there. I got a read because I anticipated potentially off-speed pitch, and he set about 153, so that makes it a little bit tougher for Battaglia, especially with a good jump.
Atherton in the ABL has also played for the Canberra Cavalry and the Sydney Blue Sox. Blackstone cracks it foul again, long at bat. And if there's one thing that can significantly shorten Atherton's outing tonight, it's high pitch count in the early innings.
Yeah, look, and we do talk about Atho a lot as far as he's like a big steam train. Once he gets into it, he actually gains more momentum. So, how quickly can he get into his game plan?
Hernandez hasn't really had to dive too much on the pickoff throws. He's got his paces pretty well measured out.
And it's funny, that little extra pressure, it puts pressure on the middle infield. They know they've got to cover a bag and sometimes frees up a hole.
Blackstone with a high fly in the air to shallow left center. It's the shortstop Wade out to make the catch.
But speed does create havoc, and I know, when you got guys that are plus runners or aggressive runners, it puts pressure on pitchers, sometimes puts pressure on catchers, and then middle infielders are constantly feeling like they've got to cheat a little bit to make sure they can cover the bag on a steal.
Josh Morgan up next. Morgan had the biggest hit in game one of the doubleheader. Go-ahead 3-run homer in the third inning to break a 1-1 tie. All three of those runs were unearned because they were facilitated by an error earlier in the inning. Travis Blackley, though he was on the hook for all 6 of those runs, was only charged with 1 earned run in the ball game. I don't think that'll help him sleep at night, but no. It's something to note on the back of his baseball card. 1-0. There's a strike, 1-1.
A good pitch right there. That's that secondary pitch, and we've seen Atherton kind of change things up. He's got 2 speeds on that one variation where he throws for a strike. You can't give up on it, and then he can throw one that same location, breaks out of the zone, and gets a lot of guys to chase, particularly with 2 strikes.
There's a called strike, 1-2. Atherton has 27 strikeouts in 18 and now 2/3 innings. From the stretch, runner goes. It's down and away on a breaking ball. The throw is not in time. Given the pitch and the location down and away, Battaglia delivered as good a throw as you can ask for, but Hernandez just got in.
We get a chance. He got a good jump right there, but I'll tell you what, absolute good throw right there. Quick tag, but just not in time, so good call and good slide.
Second steal of the year for Hernandez, and he's in scoring position with a 2-2 count. Breaking ball left up. Diving stop by Dutton. He picks it up and doesn't have a play, but for the time being, he's saved a run. It'll be an infield single. Dutton gloved it cleanly for the time being, but then in the transfer lost handle of the baseball.
Actually, really good play by Dutton in a number of ways. I mean, by keeping the ball from getting down the line, keeps runner from scoring, but the second thing, keeps the runner off second base and keeps the double play in order.
Now the cleanup hitter, Jared Walker. Walker was 0 for 3 in game 1, but he factored into the game story because he was hit by a pitch in the 6th inning by Travis Blackley, and words were exchanged leading to the clearing of the benches, but as those things go, it was pretty mild.
Yeah, pretty mild. Like I said, it's competition. It was high 30s, low 40s today. So, but like I said, nobody was hurt, and unfortunately,
maybe some hurt feelings.
Hurt
nothing
feelings.
Beyond.
Hurt egos more than anything, probably.
Ground ball up the middle. Wade to Nielsen, and that's all they'll get. A run comes home. Hernandez's stolen base plays into the first inning as he scores the game's first run.
Atherton got exactly what he wanted. He got a slow ground ball, but see where it pulled Logan and put him out. He actually made a good feed to second, but unable to convert on the speedy runner. So that'll score the first run of the ball game. And that want to talk about manufacturing runs, and that's a good job by Tuatara to drive in the first run of the game.
Walker will get an RBI with his 6'4" fielder's choice. And now with 2 down, Kim Won-Seok will bat. First pitch is hit high in the air to deep right center field. Long run back for Colwell. He won't catch it. It's up against the wall. On his way to third is Walker. He'll be waved home. The throw from Wade is not in time. 2-out RBI double for Kim. Doubles the Tuatara lead. It's 2-0. If the relay is handled just a little bit better, you might save a split second and have a play at the plate. But both Wade and Nielsen, the 2 middle infielders, were out there, and looked to be some miscommunication as to where that throw was going to end up.
Yeah, and that probably was the only reason why they didn't have a shot. I think if they get a good relay feed there's a shot. But because the ball took a tricky hop, there was a bit of indecision there. Allowed the runner to round third and score.
Now the catcher, Johnny Homza. Thursday night, he was behind the plate. The next 2 games, he was at third base. He gets the dish for the finale and takes a strike. Not the start that Atherton was looking for. He's faced 5 batters and retired only 2 of them. Breaking ball down. Fastball lifted in the air down the right field line. Long run over and back for Taylor into the corner. Loses his cap and loses the ball in foul territory. Had it in his glove, but the impact against the short fence on the side wall dislodged the ball. That'll be new life for Homza. He got to the spot and made the catch, but you do have to complete the catch. And in the estimation of the umpiring crew, he was unable to do that.
Yeah, a good effort. I mean, he covered a lot of ground just to get to the ball and able to make the catch, but unfortunately the fence caused the ball to fire out of the glove, so it keeps the at-bat alive.
It's also back-to-back nights that Liam has lost his cap running after a play. Maybe he needs to go down a quarter size. 1-2 to Homza. Oh, cross up. Battaglia can't find it. Going to third is Kim, and he takes a big turn before deciding to stay put. With a runner at second, we were talking about this last night, Gons. You're going with multiple signs, and Battaglia and Atherton need to get on the same page.
Yeah, and that's just where the mix-ups can happen. Just for people that, as far as signs being called, normally when a runner's on second base, they'll go first after a certain sign, or they'll go first after wiggle, whatever it may be, or even touches. Obviously, he got crossed up thinking he's going to get a breaking ball because he broke to his knees and he got a 92-mile-an-hour fastball off the forearm.
2-2. Kim now 90 feet away from the third run of the inning. Homza chops to third. Charging is Dutton. Gathers and throws, and that does it for the top of the first. But the Tuatara strike for a pair. The Bandits are behind as they head to bat.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you. And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire? Kiss me, baby, touch me. Kiss me, baby, love me.
Beautiful night in Brisbane. Scoreboard not too pretty right now. 2-0 Tuatara leading the Bandits as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Paul Gonzalez, this is Eric Bramer. Round 4 finale tonight. Bandits hoping to salvage a split before they head out on the road to Canberra for round 5 next weekend. Bandits lineup begins with Andrew Campbell, followed by Logan Wade and Tim Colwell. Batting 4, 5, and 6 are Mitch Nielsen, Donald Lutz, and Wade Dutton. For the bottom third is David Sutherland, Ryan Battaglia, and Liam Taylor. On the mound for the Tuatara, Jimmy Boyce. With 1 win and 1 loss, he has an ERA of 4.26. Nothing too fancy, fastball, slider, and a change from the righty, but he's been able to make it work. Nice round of applause for Andrew Campbell tonight, playing in his 300th career ABL game.
Tell you what, acknowledge Soupy. That's people don't realize. I mean, it's a lot of baseball here. Most of it's played at the back end of the season. These guys have been on tour with Team Australia, and then for the guys that play overseas, it's quite a bit of baseball.
First pitch, a ball. Boyce is 22 years old. He's an Auckland native. Ooh. 2 balls begin the at-bat for the Bandits' leadoff man. Campbell saw 1 pitch, his first time up in Game 1 of the doubleheader, and he sent it over the right field wall. Here's a drive, high and deep to right field. For the second time today, Soupy Campbell has a leadoff home run. And in his 300th career ABL game, Campbell circles the bases. Empire jerky home run. Campbell greeted by his teammates in the dugout.
And I tell you what, this is the way you want to start your game. You go down 2-0, you're in your 300th game, and people ask you your story, and you say, what did you do? I hit home run in my leadoff at bat. So congratulations to Soupy.
And here's a drive from Wade out to right field. It's over the head of Mark and up against the wall. Extra bases for Logan Wade into second sliding with a ringing double into the right field corner.
And that's exactly what David Nielsen want to see, is the boys come out and swinging the bats. Your big horse is on the mound in Game 4. He's down 2-0, and all of a sudden the Bandits bats decide to come alive here in Game 2. So a good start for the Bandits, but they're chasing, still down by 1.
Now Tim Colwell. Colwell in Game 1 of the doubleheader went 1 for 3 with an RBI double. Before he sees a pitch, Holmza wants to chat with Boyce. Elsewhere on the Tuatara defense, Walker's at first, Blackstone's at second, Hernandez is at short, and Morgan is at third, with Kim, Brown, and Mark left to right across the outfield. Colwell takes an off-speed pitch up high. Bounced in the dirt. Nice stop by the catcher, Holmza. Boyce sets, and the pitch. Down and in. 3-0 with first base open, and Mitch Nielsen waiting on deck. The homer for Campbell was his third of the year. That ties him with the injured Mike Margema for the team lead. For Wade, that double is his fifth. Colwell with a drive out to right field. This time it's caught by Mark. Wade bluffs a tag and stays put. Strong throw in from the right fielder. Colwell retired for the first out of the inning, but everything so far has been hit hard.
Yeah, and it all struck well, and a good job by Mark to get back there, and it shows his arm in right field. He's former pitcher for the Bandits, probably in 2010-11, and comes up firing and able to be cut off, but does not allow the runner to advance.
Cleanup hitter Mitch Nielsen is next. Nielsen fighting it a bit at the plate, though he did go 1 for 3 in game 1, a single his last time up. First pitch, a strike. Lefty heavy lineup with a righty on the mound. Called strike, and it's 0-2. 1 through 5 in the order go lefty, switch, lefty, switch, lefty. And then David Sutherland batting 7th also hits from the left side. Boyce in need of a strikeout. The 0-2. Taken low. Wade runs well, base hit to the outfield, might tie this ball game. Boyce's pitch, called strike 3. Frozen at the knees, and Nielsen thought it was low.
Good pitch by Boyce right there, and he had to make a big pitch against a tough lefty. You get a chance to see location here, and it's a tough call right there, but it looks like ball potentially backed up on him. Normally, sometimes a breaking ball back up.
Here's Donald Lutz getting the start at DH in the finale of the series. Stares at the slow stuff and takes ball 1.
They'll pitch careful. You've got the open base, even though you got Lutzy at the plate. You still got the open base, so they will pitch cautious.
Before the pitch, a pickoff to second. With the shift down, that's the shortstop Hernandez coming in.
It's a good move right there because you are playing the power shift, but you look at that, it could even be a foot race potentially between Logan and third baseman with him playing almost in that 5-6 hole.
Lutz takes low again, 2-0. Lutz should get a good pitch to hit here on 2-0. Bounced in the dirt, 3-0. Can't blame Boyce for trying to go with a breaking ball in a fastball count, but if you don't find the zone, now you're really in trouble. You might as well just walk him.
Yeah, look, I think in this situation, David will green light Lutzy, and when I say green light, it means 3-0 count. A lot of times it's a take count. But if he gets something he thinks he can handle, he'll let him have a shot at it, see if he can drive something out of here.
If he got the green light, he decided to keep his foot on the brake, and he will walk down to first with a 4-pitch walk. That'll bring in Wade Dutton. Dutton homered in game 1, his first of the year. Drew a leadoff walk in the home half of the 7th inning that brought the tying run to the plate, but as soon as he got on, he was sent off as the man behind him grounded into a double play. First pitch lifted in the air, in on the hands to shallow left, and that'll drop for a base hit. With 2 outs, Wade will come home, and this is a tie ball game. Wade got jammed badly, but a tough read for the center fielder Brown, who couldn't quite read the trajectory of that ball, and as a result, it falls for an RBI single.
Yeah, we talk about just placement. It wasn't hit hard, and just good job of big swing right there, and tough for a center fielder because when guys take big swings, their first reaction is potentially play back, but that ball fell in front. Now that ties it up for the Bandits 2-2.
David Sutherland is the 7th man to bat in the inning. Oh for 3 in game 1 was the big first baseman. First pitch hit high in the air deep down the right field line, but well foul. Sutherland knew it. And it's just a long strike.
Yeah, I tell you, long strike, but one thing we're seeing is good at bats. You guys are taking aggressive swings at the plate. They're getting themselves in hitting count, and it's only the first inning. So can the Bandits continue to put that much pressure?
Ooh. Foul tip on a pitch up, and it's 0-2. Inning began with an Andrew Campbell solo home run. Sutherland, deep, right field, back and gone! A goner for Goofy, and it's a 5-run first inning. Sutherland's 2nd of the year. Another Empire Jerky home run. And the momentum has decidedly shifted in the home team's favor.
It did. One swing in the bat, and you see Goofy got a breaking ball up in the zone, and it's one area you don't want to make mistakes up is up in this ballpark, and he shoots it over the right field fence.
Pitch misses down to Battaglia. Bandits catcher is the 8th man to bat here in the first inning.
Just looking around, and the crowd is starting to fill, so it looks like going to have a busy night tonight, and hopefully a lot of continued offense from both sides at this stage.
Battaglia barrels it up but sends it foul. Rough first inning for Boyce. There's a strike. He's gotten 2 outs, one via the strikeout, but the other, the Tim Colwell line out to right, that was hit just as hard as anything else we've seen the inning. Down and away. If Battaglia can reach, Liam Taylor would bat next. Swing and a miss, and that does it for the Bandits in the first inning. But they strike for 5. Campbell leading it off with a solo homer. Wade Dutton with a 2-out RBI single, and David Sutherland with the big blast, a 3-run home run. It's 5-2 going to the second on Bandits.tv.
Careful out there, champ.
How good is this?
A new lease on life for Tim Atherton, who struggled through his top of the first inning, but it was nothing compared to what Jimmy Boyce faced in the home half. Sounds like we're going to be in for a barn burner tonight, 5-2 after 1 inning, with the bottom third of the Tuatara order due up.
And we talked about these 2 ball clubs, and like I said, the makeup, this is year 2 for Tuatara, and like I said, you see a completely different dynamic. So they're playing more confident. You look at the balance of the lineup. The pitching's been outstanding, and now they've got a big head-to-head matchup against a tough pitcher for the Bandits, but they really stepped up to the billing.
It'll be Andrew Mark leading off for Auckland. The right fielder was kept busy in the field in the first inning, chasing after a couple extra base hits and craning his neck to see some home runs leave the yard. Mark in game 1 reached base 3 times, twice on a single and once on an error by the shortstop Wade. Check swing foul. The count is 0-1.
We talk about killer instincts of pitchers and competitors, and you look at Atherton here. He's now got a 3-run lead here in the second. Just see how his tempo changes and see how he now starts to pound the strike zone and put pressure on the offense.
Another foul on a mighty rip from Mark. What a gorgeous night. Can't ask for much better. And we'll savor it, because you never know what weather we might have down the road. Oh-2. Atherton looking for his first strikeout. And he's got it. Mark goes down looking, frozen on the outside corner. Skyfleet Hino strikeout. Let's take another look.
Get a chance to see location right here, and sets up on the outer half and absolutely hits a spot and paints it. So we talked about Atho earlier in the year. One of his first starts is how sharp he was. Last year, David allowed him to build to more innings, but I think with his workout regime preparing for Premier 12, he's more at mid-season form than he would be early season form.
Bus Noe gets the start at DH tonight.
You guys are quiet. I didn't hear you guys are quiet. Yeah, right.
Atherton's pitch. A strike, and it's 0-2. Got to admit, when I introduced myself to Bus before yesterday's game, I was a little disappointed because in all the pictures of the free agent signing, he had this massive red beard. I was looking for him in the clubhouse. I didn't see anyone with a red beard, and I guess he trimmed it up to look a little bit more respectable. But I don't know. It's his face, his decision to make. Swing and a miss. Gone on 3 pitches. All of them, I believe, fastballs low in the zone.
Yeah, I tell you what, he's throwing the ball hard tonight, and he's obviously after the first inning, he's found his rhythm. And we talk about guys, get a chance to look at location again, and Wolf just sets up on the outer half, and I tell you, he paints that on the outer half, so he's in that form at the moment.
Max Brown will bat next at the bottom of the Auckland order. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Atherton settle into a rhythm here. Whatever he was dealing with in the first inning was completely erased and then some by the 5-run explosion that his offense gave him in the home half.
Yeah, he's got a different mindset and focus. He focuses on game plan and execution, and then really tries to block out all the elements. And then if he feels he needs to reset, he's happy to reset and then lock back in.
Missing down 1-1. Fastball, hacked foul. Nice catch off the net by Travis Blackley, the Game 1 starter. There's the Outlaws cam. They needed some shade for Game 1, but they've taken the tent down for Game 2.
Tell you what, you have to give them credit for their commitment.
Absolutely you do. They're here every night. If not all of them, at least some of them. They might take turns in shifts to make sure that someone's here for every game.
I think one of them lives about 4 minutes from here, so now that's
that helps.
The meeting house, and then they venture over. So you probably purchased to be closer.
Just like we have our pregame show, they have their pregame show. Yeah.
Everyone has a ritual.
Atherton from the wind. Swing and a miss. Atherton strikes out the side in order in a neat and tidy second inning.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like.
Robots.
But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip.
Look, kids, nature.
Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate.
You get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there. And you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
5-2 Bandits over the Tuatara as we head to the home half of the second inning on a beautiful night for baseball in Brisbane. Look at that sky, just past sundown. We'd call that dusk, twilight?
Yeah, dusk or twilight. It's beautiful, absolutely stunning. You can even see little fruit bats for about what time they fly across the...
We've seen
they're not
kookaburras, fruit bats, and what, parakeets?
It was a galah. No, actually, it was, what did I tell you, it was earlier.
It was something that in America we'd have as a pet. Liam Taylor leads things off. He'll be followed by Campbell and Wade.
Cockatoo.
Cockatoo. I thought that's what I suggested it was, and
Just double check.
yeah. What's the difference between a cockatoo and a cockatiel? Colors. Okay. But they're in the parrot family.
There you go.
There it is. That matches.
They're a loud bird, by the way, and they don't mind eating your deck. They like to peck at things.
Swing and a miss, and Taylor's down. Strikeout victim for the first out of the second inning.
Well, that's exactly what Tuatara won. After the offense exploded in inning one, you want to start off inning two with the strikeout. So good pitch, good location. Get a chance to see it here. That's a tough pitch right there. Just got it by him for out number one.
Silver lining for Boyce as he completes his first trip through the order. He does have 3 strikeouts. Andrew Campbell hit a solo homer to begin his 300th career ABL game, and it was the second leadoff homer of the day for him. He did the same thing in the bottom of the first in game 1. Maybe someone at the ABL can check and see if that's ever happened before in league history. 2-0.
It's got to be a good feeling. I mean, you never want to play your milestone game and go 0 for 4 with 4 punchies, so it's a good way to start for Soupy.
Up and away. 3-0 the count. David Sutherland was the first Bandits player to hit the 300 milestone this season. That came back in round 2. 3-0 strike at the knees, and the at-bat will continue.
Ooh.
Down and in. And it's a walk to Campbell to bring up Logan Wade. Looking around the ABL scoreboard tonight, Adelaide defeated Melbourne in game 1 of their doubleheader by a score of 1-0. In Canberra, it's a 3-1 Sydney Blue Sox lead over the Cavalry. That game in the 3rd. Canberra really scuffling, and they're not helping out the Bandits one bit. Sydney in first place right now by a game and a half after the game 1 loss for the Bandits. Bandits hope that the Cavalry don't get hot until after Brisbane sees them round 5. We're going to Canberra next weekend. Logan Wade with a liner right to the first baseman, and Walker catches and steps on the bag in one motion. That'll be a line drive double play. Quieter second inning for Jimmy Boyce as we take another look at that nice defensive play by Walker. We head to the 3rd. 5-2 Bandits on bandits.tv.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you, Archer!
Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
Auckland Tuatara jumped out to an early 2-0 lead. Suddenly they're behind 5-2 as we head to the top of the 3rd in the finale of round 4 here in Brisbane. Tim Atherton bounced back nicely, striking out the side in order in the second. He'll face the top third of the Tuatara lineup, Hernandez, Blackstone, and Morgan in the third. A lot to like from this Tuatara squad in their second year in the league. With the win in Game 1 of the doubleheader, they now have a 6-9 record. And with a brand new home ballpark and momentum building on that front, you have to feel like their best days are ahead of them.
Yeah, I agree, and they're all positive gains. We even saw Geelong Korea come in as well, and they were a better side. They're a stronger side under new management, under Graham Lloyd this year, but same thing with Tuatara. We see they are the future for the sport as a whole in New Zealand, and really they've massive leaps from year 1 to 2, and acknowledge the organization and the people involved.
First pitch to Yanni Hernandez is chopped towards third, picked up on a high first hop by Dutton, and the throw across is well in time to quickly retire Yanni Hernandez. Atherton threw 35 pitches over the first 2 innings. He'll take as many quick outs as he can get. Kent Blackstone hit a pop-up to the shortstop his first time up. Second baseman will try and start something for the Tuatara after the very brief Hernandez at bat. Atherton's first is at the knees, a strike. We talked in the open about Atherton's ability and willingness, both of them are important, to pitch up in the zone, but we haven't seen that much tonight. He has been effective at the knees or below, and in this ballpark with hitter-friendly conditions, the more he can pitch down, I suppose, the better he's going to be. Blackstone gets one up and sends it high and deep to left field. Going back is Campbell, and it's over the wall. A home run for Kent Blackstone. Tuatara are climbing back in. It's now a 5-3 ball game.
Yeah, you're just mentioning right there, and he actually got down and did a good job of staying through the baseball. That's a big part of the ballpark. We talk about that left center doesn't carry as well as right center does because the wind tends to blow across and knock balls down, but he stayed through the ball really well, and now we got a 5-3 ball game, and we're in the third.
Josh Morgan singled his first time up. He'll stand in.
Yeah, look, Atherton will show you different looks, and really it's just to change eye level as well, and then it also sets up that big 12-6 breaking ball. So has been working down in the zone.
Here's a high fly into center. Colwell has to come in and make the catch.
But the one thing you'll always see Atherton do is he'll always work off the fastball. He's not afraid to work off the fastball, and he's not a secondary type guy who goes at you and forces you to swing the bat, and then when he gets ahead he can throw that breaking ball when he needs to, but he's very aggressive in the strike zone.
Jared Walker drove in the first run of the game. Fielder's choice to the shortstop. Walker beat out the double play, and as a result Hernandez was able to come in and score. First pitch, a fastball blown by the swing of Walker, 0-1. Atherton atypical in that he does not live in Brisbane. He commutes either up here over the weekend or flies in separately wherever the team is playing on the road. Walker chops foul. Of course, it's worth it for the team. Atherton is one of the best pitchers in the league, but it does add to his toll over the course of a season to be working a day job, as most of these guys do, but working a day job away from Brisbane and then coming in here and expecting himself to be at peak physical condition.
Yeah, it is, and it shows his discipline as an athlete. It takes a lot of discipline, to still be able to get your work that you need to prepare yourself for your start, both physically and mentally.
Swing and a miss. A strikeout of Walker ends the third, but Blackstone goes deep for the Tuatara, and Auckland gets a run back. Home half of the third coming up. It's 5-3 on Bandits.tv.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a sporting globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature.
Cool.
Wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate.
You get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there. And you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
Bandits lead at 5-3 over the Auckland Tuatara as we head to the bottom half of the third inning. Part of the order due up for Brisbane. They scored 5 runs in the first but couldn't do anything in the second. They do not want to get Jimmy Boyce into a rhythm. It'll be Tim Colwell leading things off to try and disrupt the young righty for the Tuatara. Colwell hit the ball as hard as anyone in the first inning, but his turned into an out, a line out to deep right field.
You mentioned, excuse me, in one of the press conferences, his consistency to barrel the baseball up, and he's been very consistent, and he's actually now been rewarded by finding those gaps, but his ability to barrel up a baseball has been outstanding this year.
Out in front of an off-speed pitch. You could tell that was going to be a changeup of some sort out of the hand. Boyce really palmed that ball. 0-2 the count.
And that's what you have to do, particularly in this ballpark. You've got to show that you can trust your second and potentially third pitches and just stay away from.
Ooh. Liner deflected into center. Nice stop by Hernandez, and the shortstop fires onto first to rob Colwell again. Great play by Hernandez. Let's take another look.
See the play.
That got a piece of Boyce on its way out.
And I tell you what, good job by Hernandez. And see the sliding, and that allows him to put himself in a good throwing position, but that actually deflected off the pitcher's glove. So once again, Colwell continues to barrel the baseball up hard, just unfortunately didn't come up with a knock.
Here's Mitch Nielsen taking the ball. Score that 1-6-3. We should also have a tip of the cap to the first baseman, Walker. There's a drive into the Bandits' bullpen foul. Walker, when he saw where the throw was coming, he switched his footwork and was able to give himself an easier throw to receive. Something that is underrated at the first base position. Chopped foul. Many people think that first base is just, you play the infield and you don't have to throw the ball, but there is an art to receiving throws, and Walker showed just a touch of that there.
Oh, I agree, and you could probably ask any Bandits infielder throwing to Sutherland, they would probably acknowledge and validate that statement.
1-2. Crowd mic really took a beating there. It's not anywhere close to where that ball hit, but it's clipped up against the backstop netting, so when you get the waves rippling down, swing and a miss, pops out of the mid of Homza, and the throw down to first completes the strikeout. Second time Nielsen's gone down on strikes, and out number 2 in the third.
Yeah, he's gone to secondary pitch. Looks like he's gone back to his changeup. So early on, a lot of fastballs early in the game, and now he's showing secondary pitch. So still got a lot of aggressive hitters at the plate, but the great equalizer is the changeup.
Here's Donald Lutz. Drew a 2-out walk in the first inning that reignited the rally with 2 runs already in. High fly in the air, down the left field line. Kim is over, but he runs out of room. Actually, there was just 1 run in that inning, but Lutz drew the walk to extend the frame, and then Dutton singled behind him before Sutherland's 3-run homer. Boyce from the wind. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Big hack right there and just didn't catch up with it. So now he's 0-2. Now he's got to battle once again. Tuatara continue to play the power shift on Lutzy.
Lutz just got a piece off the end of the bat to keep the at-bat going. Boyce has not allowed a hit since the Sutherland home run. He did issue a walk to Campbell, but Campbell was doubled off on a line drive double play a batter later. Missing down 1-2. Another foul straight back. Microphone's taking a beating.
At least we know it's working.
Lutz chased in the dirt. And the throw to first is high, but Walker has time to hop up and grab it to complete the strikeout. A pair of strikeouts and a 1-2-3 third for Jimmy Boyce, and we head to the fourth. Bandits on top, 5-3.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire? Kiss me, baby, touch me. Kiss me, baby, love me.
Nice night at the ballpark, and for China Airlines, a chance to see their team in person. We're proud to have China Airlines as our official airline provider of the Brisbane Bandits, and there they are in the Wolf's Lair tonight.
I think they're having their Christmas party there tonight, and I think they're enjoying the game, and I think the team will be flying China Airlines when they fly to New Zealand at the last regular season of the game of the year.
In the top of the fourth inning, it'll be Kim.
I'll have to double check that. Make
Holmes
sure.
and Mark. Yeah, well, that.
I'll be flying China.
Yeah, I'll be in the cargo bay if they don't let me in the
You
cabin.
and I can fly and support the Bandits in Auckland.
Kim hit an RBI double his first time up. That went to the right center gap. He bluffs a bunt, pulls back, and takes a fastball for a strike. Just missing, and the count evens.
That's the one Ather does want, and you can tell he takes a bit of velo off that, so he speeds you up, and then he just throws that flipper, and it just to change your eyesight and then change your speed.
Kim pounds it off the plate, starts fair, stays fair, and is a fair ball. Second time we've seen that today, and both of them have gone Auckland's way.
It's a swinging bunt.
Leadoff single for Kim.
Kim will
bring
take
the tying
it.
run to the plate.
Well, Kim's actually had a good series. He hit a 3-run shot last night, and that was a big hit, and then a big hit first at bat, and find the third base line, and another single for him.
Johnny Holmza grounded to third his first time up. Well, your son's on the DJ tonight. He's playing some Nintendo Wii music. He's got good taste. That's the Me channel, if I remember my
your Wii days.
My Wii days, no pun intended. Swing and a miss.
We didn't have music when we played Pong in my day. Just Pong.
Kim has a healthy lead at first. The 0-1. Check swing high and tight.
We still got a good ball game here. We're in the fourth inning. It's a 5-3. Tuatara once again find a way to get the leadoff man on. And game one turned out to be really the kryptonite for the Bandits. They just couldn't keep him from scoring. So can they continue to put pressure on the Bandits?
Kim just 1 for 3 in stolen bases. Holmza rips it to the gap in left center field. That's down. Colwell after it, but he boots it. It'll have to be picked up by Campbell, and that will allow everyone to take an extra base. Kim might have gone first to third anyway, but Holmza into second. That will likely be a single and an error. Second and third, nobody out, and the Bandits' lead is in a precarious position.
Yeah, Atto got that curveball up and did a good job of staying through the baseball. Colwell got in an in-between hop, and it kind of handcuffed him and able to get by, so that allows the runner to advance second and third. And we talked about the leadoff base hit. Once again, Tuatara continued to put pressure on the Bandits with the opportunity.
Here's Andrew Mark. Mark was a strikeout victim his first time up, in fact, the first of 3 consecutive strikeouts for Atherton. He's painted himself into a corner, and strikeouts may be the way out. Nasty breaking ball for a strike.
And this right here, where if Mark can find a way to drive the ball to the right side, what it does is it's a twofold. It allows the runner to score on a ground ball to second, but it also allows the runner to advance to third, and then you've got a man on third with 1 out or less.
You can get 2 runs home without another hit in this inning. Mark lifts it foul, first base side and out of play.
And that's just good manufacturing baseball. And I think that's what a lot of clubs, they look at is those percentage opportunities of when you can capitalize. And it's not always has to be the big swing of the bat and the ball that goes out of the yard. It's just playing small ball can be just as productive.
Atherton ahead 0-2. The pitch to Mark. Right back to Atherton. And he looks towards third but holds on to the baseball. Mark timed up the breaking ball and hit it hard right back to the pitcher. Atherton stuck the glove out. Let's take another look.
Yeah, good job by Atherton right there. Ball hit hard and sharply by Mark. He's able to stab it. And I like what he did right there. He froze the runner, and good job by Kim by freezing on the line drive. It's a tough discipline. They always say freeze on the line drive, which he did, and able to get back. So keeps the threat alive with second and third and 1 out.
Kim was about 20 feet down the line, but it happened so quickly, Dutton, the third baseman, didn't have time to get to the base and cover for a throw. Here's Boss Noe, the catcher. First pitch, a letter high strike. Lifted in the air to center field, shallow. Colwell coming on, setting up for a throw. Here comes Kim, throw to the plate is up the line. A run will score, and Holmza goes to third. It's a sacrifice fly for Noe, and it's a one-run game.
Once again, we talk about good execution right there. So sacrifice fly, able to drive in the run. Big play by Atherton, because Atherton doesn't stab that liner. We potentially have man on third with one out, or excuse me, with nobody out. But now at least he stays in it with 2 outs.
Max Brown will bat with the tying run 90 feet away at third base. Brown struck out swinging his first time. First pitch, a strike.
Good idea. We saw that yesterday with the 2-out bunt, and with Wade Dutton pretty much playing 4 or 5 steps behind the bag and off the line. Brown runs well, and it gives him a chance. If he gets the ball down, it forces Atherton to make the play and throw him out. So, ooh.
Close pitch to take. Brown thought it was in, and so did Paul Ladd at the home plate umpire. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Atherton has given single runs back in the third and fourth, but the lead for now is still intact. We'll try and finish off the frame. Just off the corner, it hit the target of Battaglia. The crowd doesn't like it, but not a whole lot from the Bandits dugout. Let's take a look and see if that was a strike. Just a bit outside. Good call.
Good location. Probably see if he can get him to chase it, but good job by Max to lay off it.
Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Brown strikes out. Atherton leaves the tying run at third, and we head to the home half of the fourth. It's a 1-run Bandits lead.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire?
Bandits up 5-4 over the Tuatara as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning at One Hub Stadium in Brisbane. With Paul Gonzalez, this is Eric Bramer. Thanks for joining us for round 4. Bandits took game 1 on Thursday night, lost last night in heartbreaking fashion, and earlier today in game 1 of the doubleheader. They took a quick lead before giving it up thanks to 4 errors. 6-4 final in game 1. Bandits want to hold serve and take the final game. If they do not, Auckland will pull into a tie for second place with them. Bandits at 7-8, Tuatara at 6-9. First pitch is a strike to Wade Dutton, who has an RBI single. so far in the game. Dutton, Sutherland, and Battaglia for the Bandits in the fourth against Jimmy Boyce.
Yeah, Boyce's done a good job. After the first inning, he's really settled in. He's found command of that secondary pitch, his breaking ball and his change-ups, and just enough to keep the Bandits' offense contained.
Pitch left up and hammered out to center field, but it's right at Brown who makes the catch. That was about shoulder height, and Dutton hit it as hard as he can, but to the wrong part of the ballpark.
Yeah, once again, barreled it up and just right at the wrong person. Brown goes right at him. But once again, Boyce has done a fantastic job after the first inning.
David Sutherland is up next. Sutherland hit a 3-run homer to cap off the 5-run first. His second long ball of the year. First pitch is up. Swing and a miss. Sutherland was looking for his second long ball of the game.
Yeah, good pitch right there. Just that, talk about Atherton elevating, and everything's been down today, and all of a sudden he's elevated that fastball.
Ball straight back. And again, that crowd mic. Buy that thing a drink after the after the game. Jeez.
That'll work out.
One, two. Another one. I think it's got to be something with the way it's clipped to the backstop netting.
I think it's on maybe Sutherland's bat now.
Taken down, and the count is 2-2.
Yeah, good pitch right there, and good job by Sutherland lay off. You know, he's committed to 2 high fastballs and then really pulled the string on that off-speed pitch right there.
Lifted foul. Bandits scored 5 runs on 4 hits in the first inning, but Boyce has faced the minimum since. Sutherland the last man to collect a hit off of him. Low and away, and the count runs full. Ryan Battaglia waits on deck. We've sent our surgeon down to assess the crowd mic. And there's a walk for Sutherland. Bandits have a base runner with Battaglia coming up.
Good at bat by Sutherland right there, just to lay off a couple of tough pitches and once again put a little bit of pressure on Tuatara.
Crowd mic's back.
It's a game changer.
Thanks for your patience.
Ooh.
Pitch inside almost hits Battaglia. Ryan struck out swinging to end the first inning. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Sydney now leading Canberra 5-2, that game in the fourth. Blue Sox with an 8-6 record have a first place lead by a game and a half over the Bandits. Sydney will play tomorrow. The Bandits are done after tonight. In Adelaide, Melbourne is up 3-0 in Game 2 of their twin bill. That game in the third. Adelaide took Game 1 by a score of 1-0.
Tell you that side's really come on strong. A lot of young talent there, and
Strike 2 and 2 while they look good against the Bandits, sweeping round 1.
Yeah, they've looked good all year. They put a pretty good product on the field this year, and they sit in a good position. I believe they're at 9-5.
Yeah, the 3 best records in the league all come from the Southwest Division: Perth, Melbourne, and Adelaide. Battaglia goes down on strikes. Strikeout number 6 for Jimmy Boyce, and with 2 down, that'll leave it to Liam Taylor.
That's a lot of strikeouts. You consider we're in the 4th inning, and he's given up 5. But since that first, and get a chance to see the location on this pitch, and down in the zone, and a little late action on the fastball just to be able to get it by Battaglia.
Pitch count is higher than Atherton's. In fact, it's in the 70s now. Taylor fouls off. Liam struck out swinging his first time up. His ABL batting average right now is .286 in a very small sample size.
You take that as a youngster?
Absolutely.
Hit 286, and
that's 2 for 7.
That's all right.
Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Get to knock here. He's well into the 3s, and you know what? It's been a good year for me, Coach.
Looks good on the back of the baseball card. Boys from the stretch. Check swing. Nice block by Homza going into the left-handed batter's box. There's the view from behind home plate. One Hub Stadium, the smallest capacity in the league, but consistently, if not the top attendance every week, at least among them.
Yeah, it is. Last week, I think there was a MLBI actually put out a statistic, and we had the strongest total ticket sales and attendees per game. Been very fortunate. I mean, with good weather, which we've had, and this another big crowd tonight. Been very consistent with the crowd. So thanks to all the Bandits fans that come out.
And for watching on Bandits.tv. If you're watching this right now, you're probably not at the ballpark, but we appreciate your patronage. Foul tip into the mid of the catcher Homza on a high fastball. That does it for the Bandits in the 4th. Boyce is, as the Bandits feared, settling into a groove. We head to the 5th. It's a 1-run game on Bandits.tv.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
We head to the top of the 5th inning at One Hump Stadium in Brisbane. 5-4 Bandits on top of the Tuatara. Brisbane looking to take the final game of this series and earn a 2-2 split. It'd also bring them back to an even 8-8 on the year. You're at the 500 mark after 4 weeks, and you feel that you haven't played your best baseball. That's the mark of a good team.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, I'm really impressed with Tuatara. I've said it a few times, but they got great balance to the lineup. They play fantastic defense all around, and they play good baseball. They're solid, and pitching's been outstanding this whole weekend.
Top of the order due up for Auckland in the 5th inning against Tim Atherton. It'll be Hernandez, Blackstone, and Morgan. Atherton allowed 2 runs in the 1st and single runs in the 3rd and 4th. Despite the error committed by Colwell in the 4th inning, that run is on the books as earned. So it was the estimation of the official scorer that Kim Won-Seok would have gone from 1st to 3rd anyway, even had the ball not been bobbled. Hernandez is 1 for 2. He began the game with a single, then stole second and came home on a fielder's choice from Jared Walker. Switch hitting Rangers prospect bats from the left side.
Yeah, he's been extremely impressive defensively. Runs the bases well and handles the bat from both sides of the plate. So he said it was with the Rangers, though, they're pretty stacked in the middle of their diamond in Texas.
Building a new ballpark set to open in 2020. I know you took a look at that this past American summer.
Yeah, I did. I went home and actually saw Paul McCartney at what do they call it? At
Globe Life
Stadium, and it was the Globe Life Field.
And Globe Life Park is the new one.
And I tell you what, and the reason behind it, and it's a beautiful stadium. They said too hot, so we decided to make a dome, air-conditioned, climate control. So probably had nothing to do that Jerry Jones has his $1.2 billion facility next door, so got to compete with the Joneses.
I got that wrong. Globe Life Field is the new one. Globe Life Park
is the old one.
The old one.
Yeah, so I saw Paul McCartney, and absolute
Very
treat.
Cool.
Absolute treat. It was the first concert held there, and it was sold out, and it was a fantastic event.
0-2. Chopped foul. Well, I can attest that it gets very warm in Texas in June.
It does.
The last time that I went to that ballpark was to see some Rangers games, and when the night falls, it's like you just breathe a sigh of relief.
It is. It does get hot. She gets warm during the summer, and
folks in Queensland can relate.
Absolutely. We, particularly at this ballpark at times.
Hernandez with a ground ball knocked away by Dutton into shallow left. Even if Dutton had gotten up to make the throw, I don't know if it would have been in time. Hernandez runs well. Leadoff single for the shortstop. That'll bring in Kent Blackstone.
Yeah, I mean, heat's always a factor, and you always wonder when some of the teams come in from, whether it be Victoria or even Canberra, where it's cooler in the start of the season. I think we're one of the only franchises doesn't really jump at the bit of getting hoodies, but a lot of the other clubs jump at it just because they get the colder weather.
Blackstone, his last time up, hit his first ABL home run. Pickoff throw to first. Hernandez in safely. Hernandez stole second back in the first inning. That swipe was his second of the year. Well, we went down to Melbourne last year, I think in late December or early January. Whoa. Blackstone with a rocket just foul. Would have been extra bases. Instead, just a long, loud strike. They say it about places other than Melbourne, but it applies to Melbourne as well. 4 seasons in a day. We experienced that as they did their best to prepare the field. Ultimately, that game was postponed, and we played a doubleheader later on in the round.
Yeah, love Melbourne as a city. Fantastic city. Gorgeous city, and but you're right. You'll get 4 seasons in the day, and
time called just as Atherton delivered the pitch, and he's upset. Upset at the umpire, and the umpire gestures to the batter, who was the one who requested it. The 0-1. Fouled back. Well, that rain out in Melbourne wasn't all bad, because Brad Rathbone and I decided to just go out and get a nice dinner, and it was probably the best meal that I had that entire summer.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, look, Melbourne is known for its cafes and restaurants, and they do a good job putting on some sporting events. Actually, they've got the President's Cup happening now, and you've got Tiger Woods and the rest of prominent players around the world in Melbourne.
Called strike 3. on the outside corner. Blackstone disagrees and has some words for Atherton as he returns to the dugout.
I don't think I've seen anything like I saw with the Cincinnati Reds this year, where there was a stare down and the pitcher charged the dugout from Cincinnati.
Yeah, that was Amir Garrett, right?
Took on the whole team.
I'm sure he earned some points in the clubhouse. Might have lost some IQ points, but the point transfer was equal when it was all said and done. Here's Josh Morgan, 1 for 2 with a single in the first. Fastball up and away. We were talking about all the sporting options that Melbourne has to offer, and Andrew Reynolds and I got to see some Australian Open tennis when we went to Geelong. But Sydney has an Olympic history, and perhaps in the future Brisbane will have an Olympic history. Runner goes, the pitch is low. Battaglia bobbles it, but wouldn't have had much of a chance anyway. Second steal of the game for Yanni Hernandez.
Well, and that's a good point. It creates a lot of opportunities. Obviously, being optimistic as being a baseball fan, and you push for the IOC still pushing for baseball to be an Olympic sport, which would then push the issue of a venue specifically for baseball, pushing for 32. So it gives you 12 years of planning in essence, or 11 years of planning. I think that's tremendous opportunities for Brisbane and the state of Queensland to host, if that does happen in 32.
That has been formally announced that Brisbane is making a bid to host the 2032 Summer Olympics.
Correct. It's been in the cards for a while. And I was actually at Sports Accord, which was the big sports forum that they held in the Gold Coast, and those discussions are real, and they're just looking at the feasibility side, and obviously Queensland government supports it and working with the IOC.
3-1 with first base open, and the cleanup hitter Jared Walker on deck.
I was in Sydney a couple of months ago for a workshop, and that Homebush area where the village is it's actually just grown into its own little space. And it's pretty amazing to see when I was there in 2000 to see what it's transformed into, and it's its own little sub-city outside of Sydney now.
It's where the Blue Sox play. The former Olympic ballpark there at Blacktown. Atherton stares in. There's another Atherton strikeout. Second in a row, 7th in total. And he's been hitting his spots to work himself out of trouble.
Yeah, really good pitch by Atherton against a tough hitter. Still got his work out because Walker's been pretty tough all weekend, so he's got to stay tough. And you've got Kim, who swung the bat well all weekend as well, so he's still got plenty of work with 2 outs.
Here's Jared Walker. Walker drove in a run with a fielder's choice in the first, and then he struck out swinging to end the third. Tuatara have out-hit the Bandits 7-4.
See, Latta, there was time called, and Latta pointed straight at Battaglia, let him know that was his catcher called it.
Atherton locked in, doesn't want to disrupt his rhythm. First pitch, breaking ball up for ball 1. From the stretch, the 1-0. Swing and a miss. throw a breaking ball like that, and not only do you get the movement, but you also get the change of pace. And I think more than the location, it was the change-up effect of taking some speed off that got Walker out in front.
Yeah, and he went back-to-back. So went off-speed breaking ball, and then he backed it up with another one. So a lot of times he won't come back to that. He'll go fastball, so they start to cheat, and they get a little out in front. So good pitch by Atherton.
Walker rips it down the right field line, but it lands foul on the warning track.
So Hernandez got a big jump right there, and you want to, particularly when you've got a left-handed hitter at the plate, you never want to run into the third out at third. So with the left-handed hitter, gives the free throwing lane for Battaglia. So luckily that ball was hit foul, but he had a big jump on Atherton.
Tuatara have had their chances. They left Homza at third base in the fourth, and they've got Hernandez here at second in the fifth. The pitch is down and in, 2-2. Tuatara are 1 for 6 with men in scoring position tonight. Bandits, on the other hand, have had fewer opportunities, but are 2 for 4, higher success rate. Atherton's 1-2.
Ooh.
Foul off the Bandits' dugout. A few more feet to the left, and that gets someone in the shin. Luckily, everyone's okay.
Yeah, I tell you what, it was a design we came up with probably about 4 years ago. We were looking at how do we expand the footprint of the dugout. So to excavate and change your roof profiles is going to be about $80,000 per dugout. And went online and looked at some options, and then we had GABA.com.au actually built that design for us, which doubled our footprint and then allowed us to utilize the space.
2-2. Down and in, the count runs full. Kim Won-suk, with 2 hits already tonight, waits on deck. Atherton's pitch count now climbing into the 80s. It's been a struggle all night, but he still has a 1-run lead. The payoff pitch. Breaking ball just off the corner. Atherton wanted it but didn't get it. And the inning will continue with a 2-out walk.
Yeah, good jump, and at the same time, Hernandez broke, so he was going on a timing play. We get a chance to see it on the replay. He's going timing. And sometimes what happens is pitchers also fall in a routine. It's 1001, 1002. That ball's off the plate, by the way. And boom, they're off. So they go on timing. And with his speed, there's really no chance.
Kim Won-suk had an RBI double in the first inning and then singled to lead off the fourth, later coming around on Bus Noe's sacrifice fly. Runners at the corners. Here's a strike.
Tell you what we thought was going to be an explosive game turned out to be a pretty tight contest. 5-4 here in the fifth. Both sides haven't really conceded. It's been quite the slugging match.
I think we were unfortunately talking about other matters when Hernandez swiped third. That's his third stolen base of the game.
No, I covered it.
Okay.
We covered. I was talking about he went on timing play, so
right.
we did cover it. So And then we also identified the pitchers out of the zone as well.
Atherton just not quite as sharp as he has been in the past tonight.
Yeah, look, his pitch count is high too. But there's no one heating up in the Bandits bullpen, so David's going to stay with his big righty and see him get himself out of his situation.
Going away, 3-1. Johnny Homza on deck.
Now he gets into a hitting count, and Kim has had a good first at bat and able to get one just down the line and keep it fair for a second at bat. So the mental confidence is in his favor. 3-1.
Another walk will load the bases. That'll bring up Homza and bring out Jim Bennett, the pitching coach, to have a chat. What can you say to someone like Atherton who knows what he has to do, but just isn't doing it?
Yeah, good question. And right there, it's coming down and it just giving him a break, just getting his focus back out. And sometimes you just need just that words of encouragement. We refer to Jim as the pitcher whisperer, as the horse whisperer, and just finds ways to say the right things and the right time. So that's just more of just settling him down, get him refocused, and tell him we're behind him. So Atherton will reset himself and then get ready for tough at bat.
Homza is 1 for 2, a single his last time up. He got to third base before he was stranded. Prime opportunity for the Tuatara to tie the game or take the lead. First pitch is a strike.
Whenever he told him, maybe he might have said, how good was the spread after the game? You never know. And he went, you're right.
Atherton knows what he's doing on the mound. And his first pitch after the mound conference was back in the zone. Swing and a miss. High fastball ties Homza in knots.
Good pitch, good right there. And you just see him elevating, and that's what makes him such a great competitor. Now he sits in 0-2 count. He's got a pitch to waste. Will he climb the ladder? So to see how Atherton decides he wants to attack this hitter.
Hernandez dancing off third, trying to distract the Bandits pitcher. The 0-2 pitch. Called, strike 3. 8th strikeout of the game for Atherton leaves the bases full and preserves the Bandits' lead. It's 5-4 going to the bottom of the 5th on Bandits.tv.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you, Archer!
Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
Five-4 Bandits going to the bottom of the 5th inning. Fans are doing the Macarena.
Oh, classic. Some of the best music of all time. I think when I was playing in For Bandits back in the day, Macarena just broke out, and it was the song.
I think you had to be there to really get that one. We got a new pitcher in the game for the Tuatara. Jimmy Boy's done after 4 innings. Coming on in his place, Elliot Johnstone. Johnstone in his second year with the Bandits with the Tuatara has not allowed a run so far this year. This will be his 4th outing, and in 7 1/3 innings, he struck out 8 batters, allowing 4 hits, with an opponent's batting average of 160. 1 win and no loss for the righty. Johnstone, a New Zealand native, 21 years old. He'll face the top of the Bandits order, Campbell, Wade, and Colwell.
He's got Ricky out there today. He's sitting with the Outlaws getting the wave going, so he's trying to get this Bandits crowd into this ball game.
Campbell's had a good night in his 300th career ABL game. Homer to lead off the first, and a walk in the second. Underneath the elbows for a ball, 2-0. Boyce allowed 5 runs on 4 hits in his 4 innings of work. 3 walks and 7 strikeouts. He threw 72 pitches. Campbell chops to second. Should be routine for Blackstone. And he throws on to first.
Tell you what, big inning for Blackley right there, and it could have been a tough one.
Atherton.
Excuse me, Atherton. You're absolutely.
It's been a long day.
Been a long day, but and that's what we talk about with Jim coming out right there and just having that quiet word with him, and it's just settle his big guy down. And you're right. You're saying, what do you tell a guy of his caliber, and really just settle down and do what you do best. And he got the big punch out with bases loaded and 2 outs.
First pitch to Logan Wade is a strike. He's 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored back in the first. Johnstone delivers inside, 1-1. Atherton has thrown 86 pitches through 5 innings. Really had to work for it in the 5th, but there is no action in the bullpen, so it looks like he'll get a chance to complete 6. Lifted foul.
And I think that works out well. David had to go to Surly yesterday, so he went 2 games in a row. Didn't have to use him in game 3, so gives him a little bit of recovery, but it's how bad does he want to stretch that bullpen? Frost through a little bit in game 1, so he's worked his arm. Holland's still available for you.
Liam O'Sullivan has not been seen this series. Deflected to the shortstop. Hernandez is right there. And the good bounce for the Tuatara leads to the 2nd out of the inning.
And they stretched Taylor out in game 1.
Right.
So, could he come in and set up potentially? It just, with when you've got the recovery day of Sunday because they played the doubleheader, then you've got Monday as an off day. You got a bullpen session Tuesday. They potentially could go and use Taylor in a situation as well if they need to go on a righty-righty combination.
Tim Colwell takes outside. He's 0 for 2, but he has been robbed of base hits twice. A line out to deep right field in the first, and then a tremendous play on a deflected grounder off the pitcher. Shortstop Hernandez dove and then came up firing just to beat him by a half a step. Colwell lifts a high fly into shallow right center. 2 infielders converge, and it's Hernandez, the shortstop, who backs up to make the catch. A 1-2-3 5th inning, and we go to the 6th. Bandits holding on to a 1-run lead.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. sound of love and desire. Kiss me, baby, touch me. Kiss me, baby, love me.
Top of the 6th inning, Tim Atherton back out there for the Bandits, holding on to a precarious 1-run lead. Outlaws are having fun. Look at that. Hi, Eric. Oh, they sent a message to us. I saw it. There it is. Hi, Eric, and Gons. So that's very nice of them to say.
Who's Gons?
Who's Eric?
I don't know. It's so funny.
You prefer Gonzo?
No, look, to be honest with you, the reason why I say it, everyone's ever called me Gonzo, and one day somebody called me Paul, and a guy that I knew for about 15 years goes, "Is that your name?" I said, yeah.
I go by ERIK, but I see it enough ways where it
Absolutely.
just rolls off my back. Bottom third of the order due up for the Tuatara, Mark, Noe, and Brown. Blue Sox have blown their game open over Canberra. 7 runs in the 4th inning, on their way to their first series win over the Cavalry since 2015. Fastball up, ball 1 to Andrew Mark, 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a line drive that was caught by Atherton just above the bill of his cap. Elsewhere in the league, Melbourne has maintained their lead 3-0 over the Giants in Adelaide, that game in the 5th inning. Held off the mask of the catcher Battaglia, and Paul Latta will hand deliver the baseball to give the backstop a little extra time.
Yeah, and that's just the courtesy, and I tell you what, that ball comes off hard, and it's a pitch before. I'm going to talk to the guy on the instant replay, but that's all right.
Atherton, if he completes this inning, will almost certainly do it with a pitch count in the triple digits. Mark fouls off, and the count is 1-2. After leaving the bases full in the 5th, the Tuatara are just 1 for 7 with men in scoring position. Atherton winds and delivers. Lined up the middle. This time Atherton can't get to it. It's a leadoff single for the Tuatara right fielder.
Mark has actually swung the bat well all series. He's actually had some good quality at bats and hit the ball hard. Once again, they continue to put that leadoff batter on base and put pressure on the Bandits.
Ken Frosch and Liam O'Sullivan are warming in the Bandits' pen, some double-barreled action. Frosch almost certainly is getting loose for the lefties at the top of the order. Noe, batting in the 8th spot, is 0 for 1 with a run-scoring sacrifice fly his last time up. Runner goes early, got a great jump. Noe, simply following instructions, swung in what I imagine was a hit and run, but Mark would have had that base stolen, I think.
Yeah, he got a good jump, and we talk about power arms. They're a little bit slower to the plate, so it gives less time for Battaglia to make a good throw. So it really shortens his snap time to second.
Tough game though. In LA.
0-1. Chop to short. Can they turn it?
Oh, no.
Wade double clutches and can't even get the out at first. We saw that in game 1. Bandits committed 4 errors, leading to 5 unearned runs. It's their second error of this game. Let's take another look.
Yeah, Atherton got his ground ball, and good feed right there. Just lost the handle on it. And then when he tried to re-grip, wasn't able to get the speedy runner. So once again, they continue to put pressure on the Bandits. Now that brings up Max Brown, and Brownie has shown the ability to lay down the bunt. I'd imagine he may, because his speed, he may try to put something down and just continue to put more pressure on the Bandits.
Don't want to assume that'll be an error. It's not up on the board yet, but I think it will be. Here's Max Brown, 0 for 2. He's struck out twice against Atherton.
Just Atherton giving an inside move just so he can see if Brown's going to give him a tell, just to allow his defense to potentially cheat. So Sutherland will pinch in, and he'll play tight in front of the bag, and Wade will play even with the bag at third.
Brown pulls back his bunt and takes low ball 1 on the 93rd pitch of the night for Tim Atherton. That is indeed an error on Wade. Second of the ball game. Sutherland creeping in from first. The bunt is foul up the third baseline, and the count is 1-1.
Yeah, good idea right there. I mean, it is third base side. He needs to lay down this bunt. With Sutherland crashing, gives him an opportunity to force the runner at third, because it'll be a forced play. No tag required. So if he can get Wade Dutton to field the ball, that allows Mark to advance.
Dutton did hang back on that last bunt. He's at third, as the Bandits hope to get the lead runner. Atherton sets. Brown bunts it, fielded by Sutherland. Only play is to first, where Nielsen covers. It's a successful sacrifice, and the Tuatara have 2 more men in scoring position.
Once again, a really good job by Tuatara. We're talking about execution baseball, and it's what wins ball games. It's very rare we see it, even at other levels. But you know, Tuatara been outstanding this weekend as far as execution baseball.
Switch hitter Yanni Hernandez will bat. He's 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. He's also stolen 3 bases. After him, left-handed hitting Kent Blackstone. So this might be the last batter that Atherton is asked to face. Corners even, middle infield playing back.
Ooh.
Generous call on the inside corner, and Hernandez shocked as he turns back to the home plate umpire. Let's take a look. It's close. See if Atherton can take advantage of it. Inside corner, and this time Hernandez nods in approval, pounding his chest, saying, "Yep, I should have swung at that."
Yeah, good pitch, good location right there, and now he's got to battle and make a quality pitch here. He's got an open base, but defense is playing back, so if the ground ball's hit to any of the middle infielders, the run will score easily.
Mark runs well for his size. Hernandez chops it to first. Fielded at the bag, throw to the plate, safe, tie ball game. Mark was off on contact. Sutherland played it as well as he could. The Bandits get the out, but this game is tied for the first time since the first inning.
Yeah, really good job by Sutherland. That's I think even if he fires straight away, he probably doesn't get this. Mark got a good secondary to get down the line. It actually runs well for a big man, but good play by Sutherland to touch the base, get the second out, and fire home.
Noe now at third base represents the go-ahead run. Here's Blackstone. Atherton with a chance to face him. Called strike. That run should be unearned because if not for the Wade error, it would have been the third out of the inning. Low and away, 1-1. After Blackstone, the right-handed hitting Josh Morgan, then another lefty, Jared Walker. Seems clear, at least at this point, that the Bandits would like to see Atherton get through this inning. Now in triple digits in pitches thrown. Missing low, 2-1.
Now we talk about dangerous counts. He's in that dangerous count at 2-1 with a man on third base and 2 outs. So pitch location's imperative here to stay out of a situation where Tuatara can take the lead.
Atherton stares in. The righty sets and delivers. Blackstone fouls off. Not a whole lot for these home fans to cheer about since the 5-run first inning. Pesky Tuatara have scored single runs in the 3rd, 4th, and now the 6th. Swing and a miss. Atherton ends the inning and likely his night with his 9th strikeout of the game. But the Tuatara get the tying run as Mark's leadoff single comes home. It's a brand new ball game going to the bottom of the 6th on Bandits.tv.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you,
Archer! Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
It's a tie ball game, 5-all, as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning in the round 4 finale at One Hub Stadium in Brisbane. Bandits scored 5 runs in the first, but Auckland has scored single runs in the 3rd, 4th, and 6th to bring us back to all square. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 on the Bandits' order. Nielsen, Lutz, and Dutton against Elliott Johnstone. Johnstone pitched a 1-2-3 fifth in relief of Jimmy Boyce, who's now off the hook for the loss. He'll receive a no decision. Nielsen 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Thinks about a bunt, but takes a strike instead, 0-1. Johnstone's next is grounded up the middle and into center field. Leadoff single for Nielsen. And the Bandits have their first hit since the first inning.
Oh. Almost a little bit of sneaky there.
Throw back to first, and Nielsen was perhaps a bit too nonchalant getting back to first, but as long as he was safe, that's all that really matters.
That's all that matters, but it good heads-up baseball. Hernandez comes in a little sneaky back door on the when he's taking his shin guard off. So
here's Donald Lutz. Walk and a run scored in the first and a strikeout to end the third. He drops down a bunt to a nearly vacant left side of the infield. Charging is Morgan. He makes the play. As the only infielder over there, it was him or nothing. And he was able to come up big and field the sacrifice bunt.
Good play by the third baseman in that situation. You got a big left-handed hitter at the plate, and he decides to sneak one down the left field line with the shift. Good awareness by him to come up and fire to first for one out, but that does put the go-ahead run at second base with Dutton at the plate.
Dutton's 1 for 2. RBI single and a run scored in the first, and then a line out to center in the fourth. The pitch that he hit to line to center field was almost at his eyes. Turns away from ball 1.
So they are heating up in the pen. I can't see, it's 31 in the pen now.
That's O'Sullivan. Called strike. O'Sullivan got the start in round 1 against Adelaide, and even though the Bandits didn't win any of those games, O'Sullivan pitched pretty well. We'll give you his stats if or when he comes into the ball game. Swing and a miss. Johnstone ready. The 1-2.
Ooh.
Dutton fights it off. He wanted to do more than fight it off. That was a good pitch to hit. Johnstone staring in. He's gotten 4 outs, but none have been via the strikeout. Good take for Dutton. 2-2. Johnstone ready. Bounced in front of the plate and smothered by Homza.
Yeah, really good job. He's done a good job back there. He played a bit of third base and played a solid third base in game 1, and comes back in game 2, and it's a big time block right there in a situation. That ball gets by him. That allows Nilsson to make the move to third base and puts more pressure on the defense.
Grounded right to the shortstop. Hernandez looks the runner back and throws to first. Dutton's retired, though he hit the ball hard again. That doesn't always get the job done. Tim Caldwell can attest to that. Plenty of Bandits hitters have been pasting the ball with very little in the way of results. Here's David Sutherland. 3-run homer in the first and a walk in the fourth. First pitch is a strike. Told you that Sydney went up big on the Canberra Cavalry with a 7-run fourth. That game now in the bottom of the 5th. It's still 12-3 Blue Sox. Bandits will have to win to keep pace. Missing inside 1-1.
Tuatara playing the big shift on Sutherland as well, so you've got second baseman playing in a shallow right field with the shortstop playing on the second base side and the third baseman playing in that 5-6 hole.
Sutherland pops it up on the infield, right behind the mound. Shortstop Hernandez comes in and makes the catch, and that does it for the Bandits in the 6th inning. They get a leadoff single, but leave Nielsen at second base. On to the 7th and a tie ball game. You're watching Bandits.tv.
you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire? Kiss me, baby, touch me. Kiss me, baby, love me.
New pitcher in the game for the Brisbane Bandits, and it's Liam O'Sullivan, entering in a 5-5 tie in the top of the 7th inning. Tim Atherton pitched well, though not at his best. He allowed 5 runs, 4 of them earned over 6 innings, with 8 hits, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. The story of the Atherton start was his ability to buckle down when he got into trouble. So far tonight, the Tuatara are just 1 for 9 with men in scoring position. O'Sullivan hasn't pitched since the 30th of November. That was Game 2 of the Saturday doubleheader against Geelong, Korea. He allowed 3 runs in 3 innings. He allowed a home run to the same batter twice, but those are the only 2 home runs that he's allowed. In 9 innings, he's allowed 4 runs this season. You can do the math. That's an ERA of an even 4. He struck out 7 batters as well. He got the start in round 1 at Adelaide. 1 run in 4 innings. 1 run on 4 hits in 6 innings with 7 strikeouts. He'll face the heart of the Tuatara order, Morgan, Walker, and Kim. O'Sullivan out of Worcester, Mass. Is 28 years old. Pitched this past year for the Somerset Patriots.
Say Worcester.
Yes.
Massachusetts.
Correct.
Never heard of it.
Spelled Worcester, but
Okay.
the New England accent says Worcester.
Worcester.
I spent a summer in the Cape Cod League, so I picked up
Where
enough
were you
of
at?
it.
I was in YD when I was there.
You were in Yarmouth. Dennis, I was in Wareham, which
Okay.
is the only team in that league that's not actually on the Cape. Josh Morgan at the plate.
Ooh.
Liner up the middle into center field. Leadoff single for the Tuatara. They've been doing that plenty.
They have, and I once again credit. Every first batter they put a good charge, or they have good at bats, and they found ways to just continue to put pressure. But they've just played good baseball.
5th time tonight that they've singled to start an inning, and the 4th inning in a row that they've done so. Here's Jared Walker. 0 for 2 with a run-scoring fielder's choice and a walk.
So who was the big name when you were at Wareham?
We didn't have too many big names on our team. Anthony Kay has made it to the big leagues. He was a Team USA lefty and was traded to the Toronto Blue Jays in the Stroman deal just a few months ago. Bluff of a bunt and a pullback for Walker, ball 1. Ian Hamilton has made it to the big leagues. I had the opportunity. Wareham hosted the Cape League All-Star game that year, so I had a chance to announce the All-Star game, and there were plenty of big names that have already made an impact at the major league level. Pete Alonso played in the league that year. He had a nice rookie season for the Mets, to put it mildly.
Yeah, just mildly.
Base hit right center field. Morgan checks in at second, back-to-back singles to start the outing for Liam O'Sullivan.
Well, not the start that he wanted to come out of the bullpen, but once again, a credit to these Tuatara hitters. They continue to put good swings on the ball, and now they've quickly jumped out with 2 quick singles, and now you've got another tough hitter at the plate in Kim, who has the ability to bunt as well.
Here's Kim Won-suk, who has not been retired tonight. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI double, a single, and a walk. Before the first pitch,
wasn't
turn
much
off the rubber.
Yeah, not much tell there. I was trying to see they try to keep the runner at second tight and then see if they could go inside move, and then sometimes the hitter will give you an early tell on a sacrifice bunt. There wasn't much tell there, so
no sign of a bunt as the corners crash in. It's a ball, 1-0. Kim with a high fly in the air to center. Going back is Colwell. At the warning track, he makes the catch. Lead runner tags, and Morgan will reach third base. That was decidedly not a bunt.
it's a good job of hitting right there. He didn't get all of it, but he got enough of it just to allow the runner to advance to third base. So now Tuatara have first and third again, and they put a threat into play.
Here's Johnny Homza. 1 for 3 with a single in the fourth. Baby Shark, you a fan or not?
I don't even know this song, but I see the kids do.
You're lucky. Corners even, middle infielders hoping for a double play grounder. First pitch misses, low ball 1. Swing and a miss. 1-1 the count.
Good pitch right there to get it by him. And like I said, in this situation, he wants to stay at the double play. If he can get something up in the air and deep enough, he'll allow the runner to score, and Tuatara will take the lead. So
Sullivan's pitch. Fouled straight back. Auckland led this game 2-0 in the first. Bandits stormed back with 5 in the bottom half, but since then it's been all Auckland. Rounded past the second baseman. It's a go-ahead RBI single for Johnny Homza as Morgan comes home from third. 6-5, Auckland retakes the lead.
yeah, good job once again. Talk about execution baseball, and he got a breaking ball out over the plate, shoots it by Mitch Nielsen. That drives a go-ahead run it over across the plate, now making it 6-5, but now still got man on first and second with 1 out.
Here's Andrew Mark, 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored his last time up. First pitch swinging, rocketed into center field. It's a base hit. Rounding third and coming home is Walker. Throw goes into second, and they got Homza too far away. Walker does score. It's an RBI single for Andrew Mark. The Tuatara take a 7-5 lead.
Yeah, once again, Mark comes up big for Tuatara. Shoots a base hit up the middle. Good play by Caldwell to backdoor the runner as he overran second base on the round and able to get the second out of the inning, but not after the Tuatara scored the second run, now making it 7-5.
Bus Noe at the plate. Drove in a run with a sacrifice fly in the 4th. In the inning, 4 singles. Some of them more well hit than others. Grounded to short. That should do it. Wade flips to Nielsen. And the 7th inning comes to a close, but not before the Tuatara score a pair to reclaim their original 2-run lead. As we stretch in Brisbane, it's 7-5 Tuatara on Bandits.tv.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire? Kiss me, baby, touch me. Kiss me, baby, love me.
To the strains of Sweet Caroline, we welcome you back to One Hub Stadium in Brisbane. 7-5 Auckland on top of the Bandits. As the Tuatara look to take this series 3-1, it would be their first ever series win against their divisional rival. 8-9-1 due up for Brisbane. Battaglia, Taylor, and Campbell against Elliott Johnston, beginning his 3rd inning of work. Battaglia 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. He takes inside ball 1. Missing up. The count is 2-0. We're talking about our shared experience in the Cape Cod League. Anyone? There's a strike, 2-1. Anyone go on to renown that you played with that season that you were out there?
Yeah, I think Jeremy Brunitz was there when I was there. Jeff Bagwell was there when I was there. I think a couple years before was Frank Thomas, Will Clark. Just a few names. It's for people that don't know. It's probably at that one back in the day.
It's the premier summer collegiate baseball league,
where guys get a chance to swing the wooden bats and compete. But fantastic part of the world, to say the least.
5-pitch walk to Battaglia will lead things off, and that'll bring up the potential tying run, Liam Taylor. Yeah, they don't charge admission to those Cape Cod games, and so the community comes out. Vacationers who spend the summer on Cape Cod are able to see the future stars of baseball while they're still 19, 20, 21 years old.
No, it's fantastic, and it just gives you kind of the beginning, if you have aspirations of playing professional baseball, of what it's like. Gives you that feeling.
Taylor takes outside, and that's going to warrant a mound visit from the catcher, Holmesen. Ricky Lowe leading the cheers, and you can hear that from the crowd, Mike. He's got this little battery-operated megaphone, and it works.
It works. It's funny. It's no bigger than your hand. And last year they banned it, and they took it from me. He comes up to me and says, "Gonzo, they take my microphone." And I said, "Mate, I'm sorry, I can't help you on that one." But we played one year. We actually played the Taiwanese national team, and they brought a whole speaker system with them.
Taylor 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts tonight. Shouldn't take away from the positive first impression that he's made in his reps off the development roster. Beneath the knees, a ball. 2-1.
Yeah, he's done a good job. He's covered a lot of ground in the outfield. It's we talk about building from the ground up, and this is what this program helps as well. It allows these young athletes and gives them exposure to higher levels and helps them progress through their careers as well.
In on the hand, softly hit, and in and out of the glove of the second baseman Blackstone, but with time to recover, he still gets the force play at second. Battaglia had to stay put because he was anticipating that to be caught. When it was dropped, he had about 80 feet to cover and not nearly enough time.
No, a lot of spin off the bat, obviously off Taylor, and second baseman didn't come up with it cleanly, but recovered well and fired to second base for out number 1.
Lineup turns over for Andrew Campbell, playing in his 300th career ABL game tonight. He hit a homer to lead off the first inning. Since then, a walk and a grounder to second. Fouled straight back. Auckland with 7 runs on 12 hits. Bandits have 5 runs on 5 hits and only 1 hit since the first inning. Johnstone sets. At the knees, a strike. Campbell behind 0-2. Swing and a miss. Campbell down on strikes. That's out number 2. It'll be left to Logan Wade.
Yeah, good pitch right there. Looks like just able to pull the string on that pitch and get him out in front for out number 2. So once again, Tuatara's pitching's done a really good job. After the first inning, they conceded the big number, but since then they've been lights out.
Here's Logan Wade, 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored back in the first inning. He takes low. 1-0 the count. Fouled back, and the count is even 1-1.
Good swing right there. Just came up a little bit short, but had a good hack at that pitch down in the zone. So once again, the Bandits got to find a way to generate offense. They're running out of time. We're at the business end of this game here in the 7th.
Low and away, 2-1. No action in the Bandits' pen. Looks like O'Sullivan will go back out there to at least begin the 8th. Swing and a miss, 2-2. This crowd's been patient, waiting for the offense to reignite like they did in the first inning. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts of the top 2 in the Bandits' order, and that ends the 7th inning. Tuatara are 6 outs away from a series win on the road against the 4-time defending champions. You're watching Bandits.tv.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. You get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there. And you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
Liam O'Sullivan hoping for a quieter and cleaner top of the 8th inning. Tuatara scored 2 in the 7th to take their current lead of 7-5. 9-1 and 2 due up for Auckland. It'll be Brown, Hernandez, and Blackstone against the Brisbane righty. First pitch, bunted foul up the third base line. Brown has been bunting all day. In game 1 against Travis Blackley, he dropped down a couple. He also had a successful sacrifice bunt in the 6th inning that led to a Tuatara run. 0 for 2 in this game with a pair of strikeouts. Fouled straight back. O'Sullivan from Worcester, Mass. And if you don't know Worcester and you follow baseball, you soon will, because in 2021, the Boston Red Sox AAA affiliate is moving from their longtime home in Pawtucket
That's right.
to Worcester, and they'll become the Woo Sox. Missing downstairs.
Well, that works out well. It's a road trip.
Yep.
For up and down.
The mascot of the newly formed Woo Sox will be a smiley face, because the inventor of the smiley face, Brown with a grounder to short, Wade Fields, and throws in time to beat the Speedy Brown out number 1. The inventor of the smiley face, you know, the yellow iconic smiley face that you
Not the
picture.
emoji one, like the red one.
The original
smiley
smiley face
face
is from Worcester, Massachusetts.
Wow. And he put it on a Post-it note.
Well, it'll be memorialized forever.
Did he put it?
The Woo Sox
Did he
logo.
trademark that?
I don't know. If he didn't, he should have. We know who invented it, so we'll assume that he documented it somehow. Lineup turns over.
Does he get royalties every time I put?
I don't know. I think it might be in the public domain now. Lineup turns over for Hernandez, 2 for 4 with a pair of singles
Like they
and
said,
an RBI groundout.
He uses the term, if I had a cent for every time. Use a smiley face.
Be a rich man.
Be a rich man.
Ken Frosch is back up and throwing in the Bandits'
Ooh.
pen. With the lefties due up soon. Hernandez a switch hitter. Then the lefty Blackstone, the righty Morgan, and the lefty Walker. If O'Sullivan can keep the bases empty, we might see him stay in, but if he runs into trouble, David Nielsen might go with the matchups. Fastball upstairs. Missing outside.
Oh, no.
You can't just say, oh no, and not tell me what you were looking
Oh,
at.
I'm sorry, scoreboard went out.
Oh. Well, it's solar powered. We haven't seen the sun in a while. Hernandez draws a walk, and that'll bring in Blackstone. It'll bring out David Nielsen, who's going to make a pitching change.
And, I don't even think anybody was hot, so he's going.
Frosch was throwing, but he had sat down. He just needed to grab his cap and glove, and now here he comes.
Here he comes.
O'Sullivan done. Frosch will be tasked with keeping this a 2-run ball game. We'll be back after this on Bandits.tv.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you, Archer!
Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
(7-5) Auckland on top as they bat in the top of the 8th inning. For the second time today and for the third time in this series, Ken Frosch takes the mound for the Bandits. The first man he will face, Kent Blackstone, is left-handed. And if the inning gets that far, the man in the hole, Jared Walker, is also a left-handed batter. Frosch in game 1 of the Twin Bill allowed a hit and a walk in his inning of work, but did not allow any runs. See what he can do here with Yanni Hernandez, the responsibility of Liam O'Sullivan at first base. O'Sullivan went an inning and a third, right now on the hook for 2 runs on 4 hits with a walk, but his book is not yet closed until Hernandez leaves the bases. Blackstone awaits the first from the lefty Frosch. First pitch a strike. Blackstone with a liner to right, a sharp single. Rounding second, heading for third is Hernandez. Throw comes in, and he is out. A perfect strike from right as Taylor guns down the aggressive Hernandez. Hernandez down, apparently injured. He'll leave the field, and I think he's just got something in his eye. Let's take another look at this throw.
I tell you what, ball absolutely scorched to right. Taylor comes in. Good job of fielding right there, but absolute cannon of an arm to get the speedy runner. It's bang, bang. Looks like Dutton's glove might have just caught him in the face, not intentionally, obviously, on the tag. But tell you what, once again, Liam has shown us a few of his tools. He's got a little bit of speed, utilized the whole field. Just defensively right there, comes up with a absolute cannon of an arm from right field.
2 down with a man at first for Josh Morgan. 2 for 4 with a pair of singles. He led off the 7th and came around to score the go-ahead run.
I think you might be right about the scoreboard. It is solar powered, so maybe it's didn't get enough gasoline in it today. Ooh.
Hot ground ball hits the chalk and goes fair down the third base line. Into the corner. Blackstone on his way to third. He'll be waved home. Here's the throw from the relay, not in time. RBI double for Josh Morgan. It's a big insurance run for the Tuatara and an 8-5 lead. everything down the baselines has gone Auckland's way today, and that's just, it'll all even out in the end, but they have gotten some good breaks, to be certain.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the ball was hit hard down the line and got stuck in that corner, and I think with the hustling runner coming around third, he runs plus runner and able to score easily. Once again, Tuatara continue to take advantage of opportunities, and they've hit well all day and all weekend.
Here's Jared Walker, the last lefty in the lineup for a while. Looks like Sam Holland is getting loose in the Bandits bullpen. First pitch inside, almost hits Walker. Frosch has not retired a batter. Single to Blackstone was bailed out by his right fielder on the outfield assist, and then Morgan with the RBI double. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. Frosch ready. The pitch. Called strike 3. Called strike 2, excuse me. Got the scoreboard. Serves me right for keeping track with my fingers. Now Frosch trying to finish it up. Ripped out to right. That's down for another base hit. Rounding third, coming home is Morgan. Throw comes all the way through, but it's not in time. 2 more insurance runs for the Tuatara. They're now out to a 9-5 lead in the 8th. Seven unanswered runs, and that'll be it for Ken Frosch. Sam Holland coming on to try and stop the bleeding before things get too out of hand. You're watching Bandits.tv.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
Next man up for the Bandits is Sam Holland. With 2 down in the 8th inning, the Tuatara have added 2 to their tally. Still got Walker at first. Ken Frosch faced 3 men. Did get an out, but he did not retire a batter. The out came on the base paths. Auckland went single, RBI double, RBI single against the lefty. He gives way to the Brisbane mainstay, slinging it from the belt on the right side. Kim Won-Sok will bat for the Tuatara. He's had a nice night and a nice series. In this game, 2 for 3 with an RBI double and a walk.
Well, after the game, we'll I think there's a special tribute to Andrew Soupy Campbell for his 300th game, so we'll get a chance to acknowledge him on field, and that's prior to the post-game interview.
Kim, first pitch swinging, chops to short. Wade fields and throws, and takes Sam Holland 1 pitch to end the 8th inning. But not before the Tuatara add 2 more. They lead at 9-5 going to the bottom of the 8th on Bandits.tv.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. You get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there. And you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
The Brisbane Bandits trail the Auckland Tuatara by a score of 9-5 as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning at One Hub Stadium with Paul Gonzalez. This is Eric Bramer. Thanks for joining us tonight. As Paul alluded to, we're going to have a post-game ceremony recognizing Bandits outfielder Andrew Campbell for his 300 games played in the ABL. We're also going to have what is hopefully going to become a regular feature here on Bandits.tv, the post-game press conference. Something that we're starting this year, and I think it has yielded pretty interesting results thus far, especially last night with the controversial plays and the late drama. It's interesting to hear the players and coaches take on the action while they're still in the heat of battle.
Yeah, it is, and I got it. Like I said, I spoke to the umpires prior to the first game, and even they had questioned, themselves, saying, "Wow, did we get it right?" And turned out, they looked at the ruling, and overall James Shield got it right. So anytime you have anything that's of question, it's always going to be challenged. And David Nielsen asked the right questions and got the answer, and as a true professional, conceded, and it is what it is.
New pitcher on the game for the Tuatara is Koji Takahashi from Japan. Elliot Johnstone was awesome. 3 scoreless innings. He's in line for the win, allowing 1 hit and 1 walk with 2 strikeouts. 3, 4, and 5 do up for the Bandits. Colwell, Nielsen, and Lutz against Takahashi. First pitch to the backstop. Bandits will play round 5 on the road at Canberra before returning home for round 6 against the Melbourne Aces. That'll be the week between Christmas and New Year's.
Ooh.
Colwell hits it hard, but foul. And the Melbourne series, to accommodate the holidays and make sure everyone is able to make their commitments, it's going to be Friday, 2 games Saturday, and then Sunday. Only time that we'll have a Sunday home game here at One Hub Stadium in the regular season. Colwell chops it just foul. Tim is 0 for 3. Liner to right. Deflected ground out to short. And a pop up to short. Gon's on the topic of mutual destinations in our baseball careers. The place I was this past summer announcing games in the Carolina League is a place that you played under a different name. Back then they were the Prince William Yankees? Cannons. Up and away. Last year they were the Potomac Nationals.
I tell you what, that year the talent on that ball club was unbelievable. We had Magler Ordonez was on that ball club. For the Cleveland Indians, they had Aaron Boone was playing there, Bartolo Colon. Richie Sexton was playing first base, a big 6'7", 6'6" first baseman, and a lot of talent coming through that Carolina League at that stage.
not just future major leaguers, but future impact players.
That's what made it so unique.
Back in those days, they were the biggest show in town, but in 2005, up in downtown Washington, D.C., the Nationals arrived. Through the hole on the right side, a base hit for Colwell. Blackstone went full leap, but couldn't grab it. It's a leadoff single for the Bandits center fielder.
That's a really good job of hitting right there. He's, like I said, you talk about someone that consistently squares the baseball up. He does, and he got an unlucky break on a ball up the middle earlier in the game and hit the pitcher's glove and fielded cleanly by Hernandez at short for the force out at, or it's going to be the out at first. But right there, just staying through the baseball and get this Bandits 8th inning started.
Mitch Nielsen takes outside, ball 1.
Well, I thought when I was going up to the minors, there was playing the Dodgers organization. The talent that I was fortunate enough to play against, there was Mike Piazza, there was Pedro Martinez, there was Raul Mondesi. They had a guy that never played in the big leagues for a long time, but I thought he was going to be an impact player. His name was Billy Ashley. He was 6'7", 6'8", 240.
Oof.
And he's hit balls up into the light towers, but never really transitioned to the big league pitching.
2-0 to Nielsen. Popped up, back of third. Over is Morgan. In fair territory, he backtracks and makes the catch.
Good play right there. Tough play. It's always a tricky corner there, but just stayed with it. And will come up without number 1. Tell you another great player I was fortunate to play against and for a long time in the minor league career was Jim Edmonds.
Sure.
You talk about a guy that just pure hitter. He was one of the best players I've watched hit. As far
great
as
hitter, but he'll probably be remembered for his defense. That's just how good he was in the field.
Phenomenal. He and I shared the same agent, and just he was unbelievable in the California League, and then AA, and then AAA.
Lutz first pitch swinging, gets jammed, sending it into shallow right. That'll drop. And Colwell scampers to second. He had to play it halfway, but gets to second base. It's the second single of the inning, and the Bandits are putting something together.
Yeah, and the Bandits will take that, especially Lutzy right there. He said, anytime you can find a bleeder or you can find a ground ball with eyes, it can create a lot of momentum for a hitter. And right there, he found his little gap, and it's all you need sometimes as a hitter is to get a sniff of a hit, and you're back and you're locked in.
Now Wade Dutton 1 for 3 with an RBI single back in the first. Dutton calls time.
Ricky Lowe he's got his A game on tonight, which is great.
Credit to Ricky, credit to this crowd for sticking around. Not a whole lot to cheer about since the first inning, but Bandits still have 5 outs to work with. Chop towards third, high first hop. Morgan goes to second, and a double play. Blackstone was taken out at second, but he delivered an on-target throw. And the Bandits squander their opportunity in the 8th. It goes 5-4-3 around the horn to send us to the 9th. You're watching Bandits.tv.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire? Kiss me, baby, touch me. Kiss me, baby, love me.
9-5 Auckland over Brisbane as we head to the top of the 9th inning at One Hub Stadium. Sam Holland got the final out of the 8th on one pitch. He's back out there for the 9th facing Holmza, Mark, and Noe in the Auckland order. The Bandits, for what it's worth, will send up the bottom third of their order to begin the 9th inning, trailing by at least 4 runs.
Actually, presenting Soupy Campbell with his 300th game acknowledgement will be Trent Koshy.
Really?
Koshy's here on the night. Got a chance to see him briefly before the game, and he's dropped in. This will be his only game. I think he's going overseas for a while.
Good to have him back.
Yeah, it'd be good. He'll, like he said, he's always going to be part of the Bandits family.
Ooh. Cue shot.
Wow.
Low hop for Sutherland, but Holland covers. That was a tough play made to look pretty easy as the Bandits get out number 1.
Yeah, look, I don't think people realize how difficult that play is. And Sutherland's 6'6", 6'7", and to be that agile with the ball having that much spin, that's a big time play.
Andrew Mark will bat next. Auckland has more than doubled Brisbane's hit output, 15-7. And Auckland has once again played errorless ball in the field, something that cannot be said of the Bandits.
Ooh.
Inside, Mark stepped into it and almost got hit.
That's the one thing about Sam Holland, too. It's like nothing goes straight. It either comes into you or away from you. I don't think he thinks anything on a straight plane. So,
swing and a miss. The Outlaws are into the first verse of Bohemian Rhapsody down the third baseline.
Wow.
Another tough pickup by Sutherland. Just kept the glove down and the ball found the mitt. 2 down.
Yeah. He's always been probably, if not the best defensive player at first base in the country, and that just shows just how good he is and how good his hands are.
Here's Boss Noe. Noe drove home a run with a sacrifice fly in the 4th and reached on an error by the shortstop Wade in the 6th. First pitch, a strike.
Sydney?
Even when the team's losing, these home fans have fun.
Well, and you have to. One thing when we set the model up from day dot is we can control the experience. We can't control the outcome. And if we win, it's a bonus.
Ball, strike 3, and Holland does his job, retiring all 4 batters he's asked to face. Last chance for the Bandits as we head to the bottom of the 9th. It's a 9-5 Auckland lead.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
Outlaws are looking for something to cheer for. Bandits trailing 9-5 to the Auckland Tuatara as we head to the bottom of the ninth inning. Paul Gonzalez, this is Eric Bramer. You have to be impressed with what the Auckland Tuatara have done. They won last night, and they're on their way to their third consecutive victory in a series win on the road against the four-time defending champions.
Yeah, let's be honest. They're a good ball club.
Yes.
You know, I like what I see defensively. They've got some good arms. If the arms can find consistency within the strike zone, the arm strength is definitely there. They cover good ground in the outfield, and they do the little things with the bats, which is really impresses me. They move runners over. They have the ability to get the ball down and bunt, and they hit very well to situations, and that's really a recipe for success for any ball club.
Bottom third of the order due up for Brisbane, Sutherland, Battaglia, and Taylor. They hope more will follow. Looking at bench options, Daniel Nielsen from the left side, Jay Myers, Carter Bell, and Jeremy Martinez from the right side.
You wouldn't know we're down by 4 because the crowd seems to, they've had a great night, that's part of the experience is, win, lose, at the end of the day is a happy fan is a loyal fan.
Koji Takahashi worked around a pair of singles to put up a 0 in the 8th inning. He's out for his second inning, and the Tuatara hope that they don't have to go get him. Off the end of the bat, little weak pop-up into the shift, and the shortstop Hernandez is there for out number 1. Up next, Ryan Battaglia. Elliot Johnstone in line for the win. He went 3 scoreless innings of relief after Jimmy Boyce struggled in his start. Liam O'Sullivan on the hook for the loss, unless the Bandits can rally. Takahashi, for that matter, entered in a save situation. First pitch, a grounder to third. Morgan to Walker. 2 down. Bandits down to their final out.
And once again, right there, that's not an easy play. You've got, the ground's a bit choppy. Got a lot of play. You're on your second game, so the footing wouldn't be ideal. Just stays with that ground ball and makes an easy throw to first base. But that consistency in their defense tonight has really been the difference in Game 1 and definitely in Game 2.
Daniel Nielsen will pinch hit for Liam Taylor. Taylor gone 0 for 3. Ball 1 is taken. If Nielsen can reach, the lineup would turn over for Andrew Campbell. Popped up on the infield. Morgan comes in, calls, and catches. And the Auckland Tuatara have taken 3 out of 4 in round 4 on the road against the Bandits in Brisbane. Doubleheader sweep culminates with a 9-5 Tuatara victory, scoring 7 unanswered runs after falling behind early. We encourage you to stick around. We're going to have a post-game presentation to recognize Andrew Campbell's 300 career games played in the ABL, and then we will have our post-game press conference where we will talk to representatives from both teams about the day that was here at One Hub Stadium. For Paul Gonzalez, this is Eric Bramer signing off for now, but don't go anywhere. We'll have more content for you after this.
Johnston.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bandits postgame press conference after our round 4 doubleheader between the Bandits and the Auckland Tuatara. Auckland took both games, and we'll start by talking to the Auckland manager, Steve Mintz. Obviously, quite a turnaround for you guys after losing the opener of this series. You tightened things up in the field, and you took advantage of your opportunities at the plate. What did you see out of this doubleheader sweep today?
We came out, got the 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning. You know, we're kind of feeling good about ourselves, and then the next thing you know, we're down 5-2. But can't speak enough about the way our guys, they just grinded out the day. I mean, this was a tough day, playing that 2:30 game and then having to come back out and do it again. But just the way we grinded out the game, and we did something I didn't think we'd ever do. I mean, they scored those 5 runs, and we didn't let them score again. And just 2 of our Kiwi pitchers with Jimmy Boyce, he settled in and gave us 3 zeros, and then Elliott came in, gave us 3 more zeros, and we just kept getting one here, getting one there, and we were just excited with the way that our guys competed.
Any changes from Boyce from the first inning onwards that he made to have greater success?
I just spoke. I pulled him and the catcher aside when the inning was over, and I had a little talk with them. Won't go into that much, but just the aggressive, getting his pitches over and not falling behind.
We'll talk now to Elliott Johnston, who picked up the win tonight with 3 scoreless innings. Only 1 hit allowed, and you were able to keep the Bandits at bay while your offense did some work. What was your mindset going into your outing, and how were you encouraged by the way your offense responded to support you?
From the get-go, we had a game plan as a pitching group, and I felt like that we did it well, and I was confident with all 3 pitches that I have. And once the boys started scoring some more runs, it gave me more confidence going into the next innings, and I felt great.
You kind of put yourself behind the 8 ball, allowing leadoff base runners in your final 2 innings. How were you able to get out of those jams without allowing a run?
Just executing pitches, really. I just felt good, hit my spots, and the field did the rest.
We'll move on to David Nielsen, the Bandits manager. Obviously a disappointing day and a disappointing series for you guys. What were some positives to take away?
Well, we did a lot of things good. I mean, we swung the bats good at times. We pitched good here and there, but I think overall our defense just let us down. Every time we sort of got back in the game or we took a lead, we just weren't sharp defensively, and credit to Auckland, they just kept coming at us. But when you give them that many chances, it's a tough night. So our pitchers battled, but defensively we were really sloppy over the whole weekend.
This is a pretty established veteran team. Is there anything that you as a manager can do to tighten that up, or is it just leaving it to the guys to manage themselves and make sure that they know that they need to do better in the field?
Well, it's a bit of both. I think they understand it. We're 4-time champions. You don't get that without having some competitive drive within you. And I think that, to a large degree, they're going to be embarrassed about that, and they're going to want to clean it up themselves. So I'll just be there to guide them through that. But, we've been through this before. Winning isn't easy. And, I think this is just a place we've been in many times before, and we'll get through it. But, you got to tip your hat to the opposition. They just battled every inning of every game, and they got the results.
We'll move on now to Logan Wade, who had a triple in Game 1 and a double in Game 2. You're seeing the ball well at the plate, and more than anything, you're on the field, something that you were unable to do last year. How good does it feel to be able to play, hopefully, a full season and contribute on both sides of the ball?
Feels great. It's good to be out there with the guys. Last year was, disappointing, but I came back to play well. So this year I'm just, looking to start well and just, get some consistency going at the plate. I felt good that, you get a hit and then you get strike out or you don't feel so well. But, for me, it's just keeping it consistent and, it'll all come around.
It's a distant memory now, but in Game 1 there was a bit of a disagreement on the field, and you were a bystander for it. What was your perspective on the benches clearing shouting match?
Yeah, I think, it escalated quickly, and then, we kind of calmed it down. I think both sides realised, when it actually happened that, it shouldn't be happening. So, got calmed down, and we played played out the rest of the games, and that's what happened tonight.
Last question from me. Your teammate Andrew Campbell celebrated his 300th career game in the ABL tonight. You're another longtime Bandits player. How have you seen this organization and your relationship with your teammates grow since you began your time with the Bandits?
Yeah, so he was actually in the league before I was. I think he was a year or two before me, and I came in. We just gelled straight away. But it's as a teammate, it's pretty cool, and as a close teammate, I'm proud of him, and he's doing some pretty good things out there. I think today with those, 2 big at bats, the 2, home runs, I think it showed just the fire in his belly, that he had for today, and it was great.
We'll open it up for questions.
Paul Gonzalez. David, this is for you. Well, first of all, happy birthday. I know you turned the big 5-0, so welcome to the club. I guess a positive, you've seen these young men progress to the talent they have, so I acknowledge what you've done in your leadership role, but we'll go off topic of the game and talk about young Liam in right. I mean, that's you start seeing about the next generation, and it's got to be positive for you as a manager to see the next generation of athletes coming through the system.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm really proud of about this organisation over the last 5 years, we've had a lot of Liam Taylors come through. Liam first played for us 3 years ago. He went and did 2 years in college, and we have a lot of guys like that this year. Nate Van Can and guys that have, over the 5 years, we haven't just put them on the roster at home, we've taken them on the road. So I feel really good about the organisation in the next 2 or 3 years, and as guys play 300 and 400 games and get older, we can just move them to the side and bring in the new group with some more energy.
Thank you. Steve, this is a question for you. Second year with the organization. As a commentator, it was fantastic to watch the progression from year 1 to year 2. I mean, what's the limit? I see that this club's only going to get stronger, and what's your feeling about the organization moving forward?
Yeah, I think definitely we made strides from last year. I mean, there's no doubt. A lot of bumps and bruises. Maybe we didn't navigate our way through like we should have, but this year I think just coming in, we had more time. We had more time to get ready for this, and I think in trying to put players together and put the whole team together, I think it helped with the time that we had. But we're excited. We won a series last weekend. We won a tough series this weekend. And we know that next weekend again is in conference again, and so we've got to play well again next week. But where the limit's at, I don't know. But if we can see the young Jimmy Boyces and the Elliots like Dingo was talking about, and we get these guys involved and get them doing what we know that they can do, that's how you grow the program. And being young, we're not as old as the Bandits are, as far as the building that they've done. But when we can see these kids doing this and being able to contribute in the situations that we need, I think we can get better. There's no doubt.
Well, gentlemen, that's all from me. Thank you. I'll pass it on potentially.
Thanks. I just ran up the stairs because Subi was celebrating his 300th game. Very optimistic on the field too. He said, "Stick with us, crowd. We're going to win this." Obviously, Dave, you being his coach, it's great to hear your players being that optimistic about the season ahead. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, success breeds confidence, and you also understand that the journey every year is not easy. There hasn't been an easy year when we won a championship. They've all been extremely difficult, and at some stage of the year, your back's been up against the wall, and you have to fight your way out of it. So this is nothing new. This situation is nothing new. You wish you weren't in it, but you understand to be the best, you've got to work through some real issues during the course of the season. And after the first series, we're doing okay. I think we're maybe 7-5. That's not the end of the world. I think if we keep playing 7-5 while we're scuffling, if we can hold our breath till we start coming around, I think we'll be okay. So we're not going to panic, and again, there needs to be some credit going to the other team over this weekend. That's the one thing you need to do, is give the other team some credit about what happened this weekend.
Yeah. Happy birthday, by the way, too, Dave.
Yeah, thanks. 0-3 today. Eli lost this morning, and so I'm not going to have a 50th again.
And Wadey, that's Subi was just taking all the accolades for the home run derby overseas. Of course he was. 32 was it for the?
Oh, apparently, yeah.
Apparently, yeah. Mate, obviously you two, and they were saying that you've been here since 2010, both of you, basically. Is this probably, you had some tough times in your early days. This season's we're only four series into it. How are you feeling at this point in time?
For me, I'm I'm feeling fine. You know, we've been through some hard times, and we kind of have that feeling that, you know, we know how to get through it. You know, us as a ball club, we're all friends, we're all mates, and we know we can rally behind each other. I mean, this weekend, you know, we didn't play as well as we could have, you know, but Auckland, they were great. They outplayed us. So, you know, we just have to get to next weekend against Canberra in conference and do our thing.
Tuatara, giving any tips against Canberra after last weekend's game?
I ain't saying nothing.
Okay, so you go back to New Zealand, you know, after a couple of great on the roads. What are you expecting from the crowds over there? You're getting some good support?
Yeah, it's starting to come. That's one thing we're trying to do is just figure out our best way to, you know, get butts in the seats.
Yeah.
But this next weekend, I guess I'll throw a plug, but we're doing a burgers and bands for suicide prevention over there, and so we've got a lot of stuff lined up, and we're hoping that'll bring some crowds out. Look at what we do, our new ballpark, and some different things. But yeah, we're trying to get the fans interested and get it over the line where we can get a bunch of people in the stands, because we've got an unbelievable stadium there at North Harbour.
Well, congratulations on your win this series.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Got one more question for Soup. Have you ever had a day like you've had today, leading off 2 games with home runs in each of them?
No, that's the first for that. I've always talked to the boys about swinging early, and today I finally did it, finally pulled the trigger, so it worked out. But yeah, I mean, it's not about me, it's about, you know, persevering and changing what we can do and just get the wins in the future. So.
I know you had a chance to address the crowd down there and thank them for their support as you have your 300th game tonight. What did you tell the crowd?
I just told them thank you for coming. I thank the organisation. You know, everything about this ball club is unreal, and if they can keep turning up, we're going to kill it. Just to keep backing us, pretty much.
All right. Unless there are any other questions, we'll wrap things up. One more.
And Subi, and don't the ladies love you? Isn't that what they said down in the crowd?
It's a rumour.
All right. That concludes our Bandits post-game press conference. Our thanks to the Auckland Tuatara for their cooperation this weekend. Elliot and Steve, best of luck the rest of the way, at least until we play the Bandits again in round 10. The Bandits are heading out on the road to Canberra for round 5. You can go to brisbanebandits.com.au for broadcast information. David, Logan, and Andrew, thank you.